The mystery is us. No lie, the history of storytelling giving us lies will die with their mentality that shackles our mind. And why? Because their energy is operate high. So these fake apes wanna be great, but not in shape, not ready for what they face, cause their time will erase. Nubian people are gods, yeah, I said what I say. We are the caretakers, changed to a negative race by intervention of the devil, by the whips and the chains. Religion in schools confused what we are in them days. They had us in their plantations in the heat of the day, serving criminals for 500 years, and now we little folk. The politicians sending the police on a mission to kill us. They have no interest in our progress, that's not in their feelings. They have no care for what we lost, they continue stealing from what we built just to satisfy their money building. They have no clue how we always rise above. Yeah, because the
Word. So I feel, in my opinion, the U.S. has the best and most popular view of hip hop. I think everybody else is following the U.S. format, the African American format, the Puerto, you know what I'm saying, African American, Puerto Rico, whatever, you know, started the culture. That format started here, and I think we have the best format. I think everybody else.
Yeah, we can say the New York format.
The New York format. Let's say the New York format. I think that format that started, we have the best of that if you're talking about certain things, right? The UK, I've heard UK rappers, a lot of them are fucking lyrically dope. Some of them are not so dope, right? Just like here. That's right. People that are dope.
That's the same thing.
Then you got some dudes that, you know, they need school. You know what I'm saying? But it's all. That's why I say it's a crazy conversation to have, because it's like to be honest with you, it's like there's people in other countries that are better than other people, but that doesn't mean that you can't challenge you can, but you can't. In the sense of, you can't say I'm gonna challenge everybody from the UK, because you're not gonna be able to touch everybody in the UK. You're not gonna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like just like a UK rapper is not going to be able to smash every American. I mean, I can tell you right now, when it comes to US rappers, we know how to flip in different dialects, different your dialect and other people's dialect, because we mastered MCing and rap. Like if you think about just the art of rhyme, let's just talk about the art of rhyme itself. You know what I'm saying? Being from the US gives you an advantage to being a master of MCing. Not to say that the UK can't. The UK does have an accent barrier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
what will happen, like, not to cut you off, but what will happen is, as far as the accent, for example, everybody across the world, they're familiar with the American accent.
Yeah.
But somebody from London comes in the States, starts spitting, the crowd gonna be like, still try to put certain things together.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So the advantage is to the crowd that's used to the American accent more than every other accent.
And you think about it, their clarity is trying to match up to the American. So like you said, like people listen to you, right? They think that you was born in the Congo, but you're born here, right? And you went to the Congo. You see? So you're actually like African American, right?
I'm African American.
Like in the sense of me, I'm more Black American because I was born here. You know what I'm saying? Like I was born here, never went. You know what I'm saying? But they consider us African Americans based on title, right?
Yeah.
But you're actually that because you have an African family that came from the Congo, right? And then you went there, you spent some time over there, then you came back here, right? So when you're looking at like that perspective, and you know what I mean, it's like, but also when you rap, you hear every word, though you have your accent is not on
which I had to adjust.
Yeah,
that's
so
it's not, because that's why I like the slower beat when I get to emphasize.
Yeah, so the way you rap, you can hear everything. Like the way I rap, if you probably did it, they might not hear everything. Right?
Because I used to rap fast.
Yeah,
and
so
I sounded like I was from UK.
Yeah, see? So the way I rap, I'm from here, so I can go fast, slow, I can go there because you can hear everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm from here, my accent is based on being from Boston, Massachusetts. Right? So, and just like most Black American rappers, whether they're from the Bronx, New York, or Queens, or knowing like Big Pun, he's Puerto Rican. Rest in peace to Big Pun. You heard every word he said, and this dude was spitting like a machine gun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially when he did that that rhyme, that sequence that he did with Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Like that like so
right in the middle of Little Italy.
Yeah.
Little didn't know.
So, even when you hear Puerto Rican rappers, right?
The middleman that did do
when you hear Puerto Rican rappers, they actually can Americanize their voice. Like Puerto Rican rappers, like you don't hear like the accent in their rhyme. You know what
I mean? There is this. It's said like there's a Puerto Rican way of speaking. Like there's a New York Rican way of speaking. That's very like in New York, people knows that.
Yeah.
So like you in the Bronx, you like in Manhattan. Let's say like like everywhere, like it's everything like in the hundreds and 50s up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get that Puerto Rican, like they speak English, but the way how Puerto Rican Spanish got that rhythm, they kind of carry the English the same way, but we're very familiar with that, especially you from the East Coast. You're familiar with that. That's why you see cats like Joel Ortiz be killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Big Pun was killing it. My man S.T. Neck be killing it because he's got that too, that Latin cadence.
Because he's Puerto Rican, right?
No, he's Dominican.
Dominican. So even with Dominicans, right? Same thing. Yeah. Because
they got that cadence and that's flavor. You know what I'm saying? We like a lot of
the East Coast influence. Like as opposed to Mexicans. Mexicans are West Coast influence, right? So you hear like a Chicano MC from the United States, they sound different. But you can still hear them. But they sound different. Like they have that like a lot of their music is more rough. Like depending on like when it comes to hip hop. We're not talking about like their whatever they play in Mexico. Like their hip hop is a lot like rough. Like they're more like UFC fighters on the mic. You know, they go in there and they want to get that hard sound because that's what they get out of their West Coast thinking. You know what I'm saying? So we just lost Saudi.
Oh shoot.
But so when it comes to the MCing aspect, it's different for different regions, different coasts. You know what I mean? And I think that people will gravitate towards what they understand the most when it comes to the popular sound of what hip hop and rap is going to sound like. So for me, that when you talk about like the UK versus USA, you can't really measure that because there's Canadian rappers that are dope. You know what I'm saying? There's
like Claire and all them.
Claire was one of my favorite Canadian rappers.
Yeah, Claire was off the hook.
Yeah. Like, and matter of fact, I don't know where he at because I remember I used to hear him back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he had dope.
99 or 2000 was the last time I really heard him.
Yeah, I think he came out 97, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, around there, somewhere in the later part of the 90s.
Maybe it was like a little bit after Biggie passed.
Well, we got hit to him. He came over here, maybe. But
he
was already banging.
Yeah, but Canada was already
late 80s time.
Yeah, Canada was already on board with him. But when you talk about like those rappers, so that's why I don't like the argument of like if it's all fun, cool. If it's all fun, like I don't mind that, but don't turn it into a world war of hip hop because I don't think that's good. Because what happens is then it turns into, well, you can't perform in London, you can't perform in New York coming from London, or you know what I'm saying? I don't want it that because we messed up by letting the American music industry do that to us. Because I was the American music industry.
We need to recognize sportsmanship when it comes to this.
Well, that's why I stated that this UK versus the US, we should probably say versus. You know, big up to Timbaland and Swizz Beats. That was iconic for the culture. So if it's a UK versus United States type of thing, as long as the culture is dictating it, it could be a good thing. Because hip hop is universal. That's been the goal since its birth. So if cats from the UK want to take it to the cats from the US and vice versa, and we keeping it peace, unity, love, and fun, I personally think that'll be dope as long as it doesn't get any. It's no personal thing where people are getting harmed and getting assaulted and disrespecting the dead, like these drill rappers be doing. Like, you know, as long as it stays peaceful, unifying, loving, and fun,
True.
I think it'll be dope.
Because if you look at it, like, for example, so far from what I saw, as far as the US and the UK MCs going at it, like who's better than that, so far it's been peace among the MCs. Then you get these broadcasted news about one of Drake's men that kind of got jumped in the UK because he said something about there was no killers in UK. That's what people
that statement right there is going to get you touched.
Those are the things. Like why? Like the thing is, are we talking about, you know what I mean, MCing? Or are we talking about who got the killers or not? Because the thing is, if you're a real dude, you're a real street dude that does your homework, came across everybody, you would understand that there's killers everywhere. Every hood got killers. So I don't even think it's part of it should be part of our movement, trying to size up who are the killers, what city is the most killer than
right.
others.
I don't think that should be in the conversation. Like, we shouldn't even be asking stuff like that. Right. No, wait, there ain't no real killers out here. Yo, that's not even hip hop. This is what I'm saying about the street. Listen, they put the street cats in front for a reason, so stupid stuff like that can happen. So here we are. Now, if you said we're the real MCs in UK, that's different from, man, there ain't no killers out here. Now someone's going to step to you.
Yeah. So,
because you out there trying to stunt.
Yeah, because the truth is, anybody, you can be whatever gang they represent in the U.S. If you had to come across a true OG, the one that didn't get caught up and lost his mind in the process, he will express it to you. This is not what we try to do. You know what I mean? And no, like really, if you look at anybody that's either Blood or Crip, that's a rapper that we deem hip hop that we respect. If you had to talk to them, they'll make it clear to you, like, it's not about they want this madness to go on. Nah, they try to dead that. I big up, like, when I listen to MCA, for example, when I look at MCA, he strikes me as a real gang member. But now, once I see him promoting, I don't get that from Quick neither. DJ Quick don't strike me as a gang member that try to promote gang violence and all that.
No,
but we believe real Snoop ain't about that neither.
No.
Nipsey Hussle wasn't about that. But those are the people we actually look at as real gang members. It's the ones that comes in the industry, like, all of a sudden you Blood or you Crip, but we just finding out now after you got famous. Those are the ones that probably gonna mess around and go tell, oh, your city ain't banging like that. Like, is that what it's
that
about?
needs to be put to the side, though. Like, you know, I think all of it's gone over the top and it's causing a lot of problems. We gotta get back to hip hop now.
Because a lot of people did. Excuse me.
The problem is that they don't. Like, a lot of people don't know what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the issue. So they think that's hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right? Yeah.
They think that that's culture. They think that that's part of Black culture, and I'm totally against it because that stuff is a detriment to our culture.
Yeah.
You know, and not even just talking about hip hop, but culture, Black culture, period.
Those are issues that exist.
Yeah. So we as hip hop, we're using hip hop as a foundation to heal that, and also go beyond what we think, like what the world thinks hip hop. Because really, what the world thinks hip hop is needs to be corrected. What the world thinks, like, if you talk about hip hop to an average person, right? They look at it as what we see in the mainstream, for the most part. And then you see the conscious cats, but some of the conscious cats are not teaching the truth. They're teaching a level of the truth. You see what I'm saying? Because, like, if you think about, there's certain information that could be given when they can give it. You know what I'm saying? And I think we've as a people got accustomed to like we was talking about with street culture shit, right? The street culture is killing hip hop culture in the sense of there's levels of the street culture. So there's the gang shit, the thug shit, the drug shit. Anyway, that's being promoted as hip hop culture because that's what the industry pushes, as opposed to what like conversations like this we don't see a lot. Anytime they talk about hip hop, they talk about some street shit, they talk about some gang shit, they talk about some thug shit. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem.
Gusto.
I think what really needs to happen is we got to understand that if we're going to have a conversation, then let's have a true conversation. Let's speak the truth. Because the thing is, we shouldn't be allowing people to come and talk about, I mean, you can't really stop people from what they're talking about, but you're not going to allow people to just have one side of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not going to allow the shooter talk about you shooting without having the family of the victims or the victims talk about this side of the story. We're not going to talk about the drug dealers telling this story, but the fiends, they're telling this story. You know what I'm saying? People getting robbed and killed, people getting robbed and all that. Well, what about the victims of this shit? What they got to say about it? You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of victims speaking. They're all victims. If you think about it, they're victimizing each other.
Well,
I'll say this: we're victimizing each other.
But the thing is, the victim is not talking about his, you know what I mean? He's not talking about his misfortune. He's talking about his glories.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
You mean the victim who's outside of that? Yeah, we need more of that story.
Yeah, the victim that's going to give you the side of it. Like, I will give it up to, there's a story DMX talk about in this song when he talk about one more road to cross, one more move to make, gotta live my life like, yeah, forgot exactly how that song went. But he's telling the story when he went to, it was a robbery, when it's like, it went wrong. So they hit some of those men hit some of his men, so it got all messed up. It's like, you know, it was just glad he got up out of there. But he talked about how he went bad. It was a both-way story. So after a while, it's like, if you like to be like, yeah, going out there killing, but damn, I'd be like, oh, I can lose like 5 of my mans in this shit. Is that what I want to do? So that's the side of the story people talk about in their raps.
I think the best version of that other side of the story that you're referring to has to be Arrested Development, Everyday People. I think that's one of the perfect stories. Disrespected my black queen, holding their crotches and being obscene. I felt like no one to see I know the type. They got drunk, they got drugs, they want to fight. Then they see a young couple having the time that's good. Then the ego want to trust the brother's manhood, so they cannot trust me because of my heritage. In the bright colors that I wear, I was a target because I'm a fashion misfit. In the outfit that I'm wearing, brothers dissonant.
Right.
Let's stay calm. Something. It's been a while.
Even the
brothers have to kill me because if I start to hit this guy, they'll have to kill me.
So that alone, that just shows you like even the real dude would listen to that, be like, yeah, that's true, man. A lot of these cats be just trying to prove a point, like.
Yeah.
Even the hardest dude might go and listen to that perspective and tell, yo, fall back, man. Leave him alone, man. He ain't do nothing to you, man. Yo, keep it moving.
See, they don't. I feel like the industry don't want that. They don't want that perspective.
Oh, they definitely don't.
Because it's like when they that song alone, right? That was one of the biggest songs Arrested Development did. But then the other songs, like Revolution, is my favorite joint from Arrested Development. No, not Revolution.
Yeah.
That one.
Revolution is my second favorite.
That was
Everyday
the one that
People
did
my favorite.
next. But the Everyday People was my third favorite from them. But my favorite joint from them was United We Stand. United. You know what I mean? The beat and everything just fit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like a soulful song. It makes you like that. It gives you goosebumps in the things that they're talking about. That they had to fucking cancel that as far as their agenda. Like them, like because after X Clan, right? X Clan was pretty direct. You had Arrested Development come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And they did Tennessee, and then they did Mr. Window, and then they did I Remember Everyday People, and really their catalog is pretty dope. Like if you guys, unfortunately the music business got the speech, and he decided, you know, I don't know if y'all know the story, but he took like 90% of publishing, you know what I mean? And then like he gave them like, and he waited to give them their money, and he gave them like $75,000 when it was supposed to be a lot more because their shit was hitting everywhere. You know what I mean? So it was great. Then what he did to Dion Ferris, so he really messed that movement up with the business. And this is where the business cannot overtake the culture. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about business, and this is what I've learned with business, if you're pushing a piece of your culture, it should be authentic, true, and righteous. It should be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like something Kevin Hart said. He said, yo, when I call people, we collab, we'll figure out the money shit later. We don't give shit about the money. We're talking about collabing because the important part is the collab, right? Not everybody thinks like this, especially in hip hop. Hip hop, yo, I got to get this percentage. I don't give a fuck about percentage, man. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, when we do shows, I don't really care about the money aspect because I've made money in this music. I didn't make millions, but I made money in this music, and I know how that quickly that shit comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? I know how slow it comes, and I know how fast it goes. That's what I mean, right? And when you have a mentality of money over family, you're supposed to be making money for family, right? So it's for and by each other. So yes, we get our money, but we're gonna do this shit the right way. You want to be a millionaire? Cool. You gotta do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And the right way is the group economics, but also being a noble and loyal to the ones that ride with you. Because not everybody rides with you. Not everybody, you know what I mean? So when I look at like the way hip hop in the industry it goes, like, you know what I mean? Like we talked about Arrested Development, they have a story of disloyalty. We listen to a story, like we look at even Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? There's always a story there of disloyalty between Dame Dash and King J and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then you hear the story. Even my favorite group, Wu-Tang, they have stories, man.
That's the industry.
Exactly. So
that's the business. That's part. It's sad. It's part of the industry business.
Yeah.
Because everyone got a story, about getting jerked. Whether if it's a show promoter, a label, you know, some rogue producer. Everyone got that story.
That's crazy.
And that didn't happen until the industry came. Well, actually, back in the days, it might have happened, but someone got a punch in the face or someone got their chain snatched, you know. if you
well, then again, it was started to take a turn when people actually started to punch people in faces and all that shit. Because they've been jerking people. It started with the owners of the spots back in like the 60s and 50s, whatever. Back then,
clubs, a lot of the clubs and all that.
Yeah, they're straight jerk. You ain't shit you can do about it. Until hip hop came, when some people actually ran up in the labels.
Well, remember back in the day, and I know y'all know this, back in the day, that shit was ran by the mob.
Right.
So the music industry, the music industry started being run by the mob because who was the biggest artist at those times? Frank Sinatra, freaking, what's the dude that sang, You're Gonna Miss My Lover? What's that guy's name? Lou Ross. Those were mob artists. Those are guys that were funded by mob. You know what I'm saying? Lou Ross was funded by the mob. That's why he did all that shit that he did anyway. You know what I'm saying? You'll never find. And he had the bow tie and whatever the hell. Like,
that was my dude.
Yeah, I love Lou. You know what I mean? But he was just like,
way I do.
If you listen to his lyrics, you'd be like, yo, this dude was a pimp. For real.
And he also got the rights to all the Garfield specials.
Yeah.
He was getting paid. I said, dang, he got Garfield?
Garfield. Of
He's singing on all the Garfield cartoons.
You know what I'm saying?
He was getting cake.
Listen, man, like
Rest in soul, Lou Rawls, man.
those guys, rest in peace, Lou Ross. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, those guys, like Frank Sinatra and all them, they were big for a long time because the mob was holding them down. Like, we're gonna get this money, right? So then when we let's get into like the hip hop shit, right? Once we started becoming more industry, who was the ones holding you back? The street dudes, the drug dealers, the guys. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones that's getting you back. So they took the place of the mob. So then now you have the street guys, because remember, Grandmaster, what's his name? Not Grandmaster. Run DMC, the DJ.
Oh, Jam Master Jay?
Jam Master Jay. He was connected to the street.
No, he's a street dude, yeah.
He's a street dude, DJ. So he had the street connected. That's why you never hear nobody running up on Run DMC. Right? Wu-Tang was street dudes that had street dudes as their entourage, and they had members that had their own entourage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like street dude on top of street dudes with more street dudes. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta remember Wu-Tang, them also being God Body, that was a whole other level, because the 5%ers, they didn't play. They did Kool Herc security.
Yeah.
They didn't play.
Yeah, and they were shit.
They'll keep everything righteous, everything nice.
Until you start fucking around.
Yeah, similar to the FOI. Shout out to the whole Nation of Islam, including the Gods and Earths. You know, but they didn't play. They went up in there, they started acting up, the gods show up, it was a wrap. So that's another level of protection that Wu-Tang had.
Yeah, they had that protection, and it was like, just like, so now when we talk about like the streets, right? They went from protecting to like extortion. That's where and I don't want to blame the West Coast, and I'm not going to. Don't target any of us on here. All right? Don't do that. We're just saying that y'all be, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, this is an intellectual channel. We talk about everything hip hop, and if something rubs you the wrong way,
if you're doing,
look it up.
The check-in stuff, I heard mostly from the West Coast.
And don't worry about what I say off camera neither.
Yeah, don't worry about say off camera. What I say off camera is what I say off camera.
It has nothing to do with you.
If you can't prove I said it, you can't bruise it. Right? You know what I mean? So here's the thing about the check-in thing. That's an extortion thing. That's different now. Now, are we saying that it didn't happen back in the mob days? Listen, the mob is no extortion. Look what they do with sports.
You've seen The Godfather.
Let's put it this way.
You've seen what happened in The Godfather, right?
Exactly. That's all extortion.
But look at it like
that
this.
singer had to check in with Don Corleone.
Yep.
But look at it like this. That's the American way.
Yeah.
You see gang banging and patriotism?
Same thing.
Same thing, just different scales.
Mm-hmm.
But when black folks are doing it, we're quick to be like, man, that's some stupid shit. But guess what? Our nation does that in the big scale. We just don't look at it like that.
Well, no, let's be clear. A gang is nothing but a mini nation.
Right.
A minuscule institution.
Right.
It's an organization. That's literally all it is. Okay.
So
However,
it's the government.
The activity is the problem, but the activity, I don't think, are the gangs. The activity is being caused by certain hidden figures that are instigating stuff.
Just like politics is the same thing. The government be doing some things to some bigger heads that's actually really spearheading it. They will look at the government like, oh, these are the villains. But the truth is they got another group of people over there that's pulling the strings and nobody gonna touch it.
Right, but that's why they put the street people, the street cats, or the lumpen proletariat, as they say in Marxism, they'll put them, the industry will put them on the forefront of everything. And everything they do, their emotional reactions, their fights, their bickering back and forth, their throwing money around, their utmost form of so-called black-on-black violence being promoted. They do that so that the world will think that's how we are. Okay? And they had to do it with hip-hop because hip-hop was presenting an image that did not speak to the image that they wanted of us. Soon as hip hop was born or got famous, they're making this too positive, man. They're wearing those medallions like Big Brother Saudi's wearing. They got this big pharaoh behind them, like, you know, African man born. This is in that red, black, and green. We gotta do something. What? There's a group coming out of LA called what? Niggas with attitude.
Okay, let's use the attitude and not advantage. Because if you listen,
we didn't mean to say F the police. Oh no, we're gonna get rid of them. They can't be saying that. But they
you know, if you really listen to NWA, everything they was doing, and you listen to Public Enemy, they're just like it's like the same thing to me. That's like the different part of the story, but yeah, NWA could just join force with PE. That'd be super group.
They kind of did. Only problem is, after Griff got in trouble over telling the truth about, you know, the slave trade and who was involved, okay, the ADL went after them. The JDL started threatening them. Thank you, Jerry Heller, for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry Heller, for that. Who I think was a part of the JDL, if I'm not mistaken. And then as PE sales declined, guess whose sales skyrocketed?
NWA.
Okay. 100 nigga for life. 100 miles and running. It's train C. You can't change me, because I'm going to be a nigga for life. Okay. Started blowing up. PE was going down. And the Minister of Information was kicked out of the group.
Yeah.
That right there was the end of the consciousness in rap.
Oh, it was a process. I guess it'd take a real turn till Jeru the Damager was like the last person to get kicked off for that. They replaced with Biggie, in my opinion.
No, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Jeru said that himself. Him and Biggie, according to the interview I heard with Jeru, him and Biggie were friends. But they knew each other.
Okay, from Brooklyn, yeah.
And
possible.
He said that, I remember this. I remember the radio playing Come Clean all the time. I would hear that on 94.5.
My joint was Can't Stop the Prophet.
That was my joint. My joint was Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. But Come Clean
too
was the song that was getting played all through the radio. Boom, boom, boom. Biggie came out. Something happened when they said, we gotta play more, it wasn't Juicy. What was the song? No, was it Juicy? No, it wasn't Juicy.
Juicy was a song that was really on full rotation on the radio around here.
Yeah, I remember hearing Juicy on the mixtape, but maybe it was Juicy. So they started playing Big, and then they just put Jeru to the side.
Yeah, because I remember at the time, Jeru was like that figure, like when you look at hip hop, that's like that strong figure.
Yeah.
So it's more like, it looked like we got Jeru the Damager. And if you want to doubt that, there was a proof. There was a Wu-Tang out there. That just shows how powerful hip hop was. We got the Jeru the Damager with a Wu-Tang out there.
But remember, Jeru was part of who? Gangstar.
Yeah, it was.
And then they said, wait a minute. Gangstar, Junior Mafia, I think we'll go with Junior Mafia. Or Bad Boy.
The Bad Boys, man, they ain't no...
Gangstar was one of those conscious groups. Well, I don't want to say conscious. They were one of those classic traditional hip-hop groups that had a message for everybody. That's where Nas comes from. He doesn't come from Gangstar, but he was one of those artists that had something for everybody. Like one of those MCs that just spit for everybody.
Because you gotta look at the format. At the time, hip hop started using a lot of jazz a lot of jazz samples. So you can see where the mind was. They was going back at that time. So everybody was on that Renaissance kind of vibe. Even the well dressed, it was a little more original. Like people didn't just go with what the mainstream is offering them. People went to dig and get original and have their own little, whether it's the way they dress, the way they speak, the old slang. Like I saw the first, I think the first group one of the first group I saw do that was Diggable Planet. When they did Rebirth of the Slick. So I'm looking around, I'll be like, oh, this cat's got no problem just wearing slacks and button-ups and they're just chilling.
Yo, they kind of, I ain't gonna,
you know what I'm saying?
They kind of ruined it for everybody conscious.
Yeah, but
he got on the grave.
But the thing is,
that
actually
that's it.
Cool like that. So it's just like kind of like I'll give it to what I'm forgetting the group. Native Tongue. Who? De La Soul.
De La Soul.
There was another one, Me, Myself, and I. Those are kind of like
they were a good time group. Very creative, weren't a threat. They didn't say anything controversial. The only thing controversial was that they didn't wear gold and they just dressed it natural.
And make it cool.
They made
that was the problem. We try to sell you all this image, you know. We want every kid to buy a gun. We want y'all to look gangster, look hard. Then this guy comes in and just keep it simple, say this is cool. And every kid starts to consider. Oh, so they're not going to go out there and sell drugs anymore to get all the gold because they're cool without it. They're like, we got to, like, how do we influence these kids? Because now they feel like they don't have to try too hard. They can just be themselves. And that's cool. Be like, nah, this is not good for business. We want those kids that can be lured by whatever we throw their ways. You know what I mean? We want something, you know what I mean? We want to throw a bone out there for the dog to chase. But you got all these dogs that's just like cool, just they don't need them. They only bark when necessary. Like, nah, that's not cool. We need to send somebody over there. We need some bad boys.
Not just any bad boys though, because you know the almighty RSO, they got white ball too. They got white ball along with NWA and everyone else. They said, nah, they're too radical. We got a white ball.
Those are the bad. Those are the bad boys that was actually, you know what I mean, going against what the grown up in their house was talking about. Be like, yo, y'all some bad boys.
Shout out to our pioneers, almighty RSO.
It'd be like, y'all the bad boys that don't listen to us. That's a problem. We want the bad boys that's out there not listening, but going to follow what we have to say.
They want another group of bad boys.
We want the bad boy we can influence. Not the bad boy that's gonna be all rebelling against us. Come on!
Not the ones with the black scully, black sweatshirt, black pants. Bad boys don't dance.
Well, yeah, we like our bad boy dancing. You know, y'all the bad boys. Y'all got sunglasses on. We can't even tell like what you're thinking. We can't even figure you out, man. You cover your eyes.
Nah, they couldn't. They couldn't deal with them. They couldn't deal with them. They were ready. They were ready.
Oh yeah, but then at the end of the day, it's just it's a learning experience, man. I think that as far as the hip hop culture, people were young. You know, they still had a lot to learn, so there's a lot of mistakes made. Like, if it was me, I feel like hip-hop came a little too fast and missed out on a lot of things. You know, because there was a chase of money as well. Because if it was like, let's say if I was, they give it to me to decide, you know what I mean, the steps that hip-hop should take to develop to a culture. Because I always look at it as hip-hop didn't start as a culture. It developed to a culture. And I look at it, in my assessment, hip-hop was labeled culture before it fully became a culture. So in the mind of certain people, it stopped. Oh, this is what the culture is. Without acquiring certain value, culture needs to acquire.
Well, at that time, they were saying that hip hop, everything we do as hip hop was a part of what they call foundational Black African ADOS culture. Okay. African American culture. That's why they say culture at first. It developed into its own culture. Okay, so when you hear a lot of people like the brother Phase One saying this was our culture, this is what we did. They're talking about that African American culture before it was even a name hip hop. Okay, and that's where a lot of people get it confused. The culture became something when, out of appreciation for all the different groups that started participating. And it became his own thing because some of the older folks were like, yo, what y'all doing that trash for? It's kind of like the way people look at those young guys that be on the motorcycle going down Blue Hill Ave while you're driving. They can be annoying, but they're doing their thing. They could be doing things much worse. Is it dangerous? Yeah, probably. But think about us OGs, like, man, they're so annoying on them daggone mopeds.
That's because we're driving.
Right. And they cutting in front of you. That's how I looked at hip hop in the early days. Oh, they making.
But I get
they spray painting stuff.
When I was younger, I was on a bike, regular pedal bike, jumping in front of cars. So
you see.
Good.
So then we all grew up, and we just enjoyed it, and we still do it in a very mature way, beyond and beyond. So that's why it developed into its own culture, because not everyone understood it at that time.
Yeah. So that's exactly the point I was making. It's like now we can say it's a culture now, but when they called it culture, it was still in the verge of becoming a culture. So some people allow it to become a culture. Some people stop when it wasn't culture yet and called that culture.
Right.
And they're stuck over there. Because now, like, if you look at it, it doesn't really become a culture till people are actually born and raised in it.
Well, to be honest, it's still got some time. I mean, it's still in development.
We're still in development.
Hip-hop is still young.
Yeah, but to us, like, for example, like, we call it a culture, but I feel like to us, you know what I mean, it's not quite culture yet, because like a lot of us didn't grow up hip-hop at home. Hip-hop was like things that we did on the side. Our parents wasn't with it. But the children that grew under us,
but the difference
actually grew up hip-hop.
But the difference was, all right, so when you say grew up in it, I grew up in hip-hop, regardless of what my parents thought. You know what I'm saying? So there was never a point where I didn't listen to rap music or dealing with the culture, period, right? Because I'm a little bit younger, right? So what happens is, at a certain point, culture is established when it's established, which means that, like, once you start putting principles to it, once you start putting a actual system of lifestyle to it, it's a culture. To add on to what you're saying, though, I don't think a lot of people really had a grasp of it being a culture outside of the Zulu Nation. You see what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of people that didn't deal with the Zulu Nation, right, and its cultural establishment, they didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't really know it to be a culture. So they took what people said was a culture, because all music really is Black culture on some level, some form of Black culture. But then you add certain elements to create these separate, because R&B has a culture. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain lifestyle that R&B has.
Rock and roll definitely.
Rock and roll, oh yeah. Rock and roll definitely has a culture. You know what I'm saying? Then you have jazz, that has
punk rock.
Punk rock has a culture. Poetry.
And at the same time, you gotta look at it like every culture is, and for the most part, every culture is subculture to a subculture that's already established there.
Well, that's what hip hop would be, because if you look at rap itself, is a culture that attaches itself to rap and poetry and words, right? Then there's a culture of DJing. Then there's a culture of graffiti art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got their own culture. And
Yeah,
They got their
every
own
element has their own culture.
So every element has its own culture. So all we're saying,
it's all subculture to hip hop, and hip hop is subculture to black culture.
Yeah, so we all just added it to create something, like create something new, I guess, in a sense. You know what I mean? And we called it something new. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just like, you know what I mean? Because really, there's nothing new under the sun. Nas said that shit in 2002. He said, "No idea is original. There's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do. It's how it's done." So what you base your happiness on? Material winning or large paper. That means you inferior, not major.
Not major.
So it goes back into.
Do you know that was actually the joint that made me Nas fan officially? Because I always liked Nas, but once I heard that joint on the Barry White,
That was on the Lost Tapes.
Once I heard the Lost Tapes, I heard that joint. Because I heard that joint first. I was like, I gotta get that. I went and got the Lost Tape. After I heard that, I became Nas fan. Like, I was like, okay, now Nas can do no wrong.
Well, Nas I was a Nas fan from the beginning. So, like,
same here.
But when he did that, he definitely elevated his level. You know what I'm saying? When he did that, especially if you listen to the lyrics when he said, Genesis is deep in my features of that of a god. It's not a facade. It's
not a facade. It's a fact. Rappers will be Nas.
And that shit, like, that influenced me to be like, I gotta get into my god shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That was like the dopest rebuttal.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You can't be like, you try to be like Pac up, man. Say, man, my Genesis is deep. My features are that of a god. It's not a facade. It's a fact. These rappers want to be Nas.
Right? And then it's like, mind you, look at the records he dropped before that and after that. He did Ether, right? Before he released that, he did Ether.
Ether was before that.
Yeah, Ether was before that. That's what I'm saying. So he did Ether before that, destroyed Jay, in my opinion, right? Then he comes out with a dope album. Then he drops the Lost Tapes. And to me, the Lost Tapes is a straight play. That's a straight play. I can listen to every song, right?
Yeah, he dropped it after he dropped Godson.
Really like
after he dropped Godson, he dropped the Lost Tapes.
Was it after Godson or before?
I think it was before. After. Lost Tape was before.
Was it? You sure?
I gotta look that up.
After,
I remember.
I remember hearing that song before.
Let me see. There
Before
was after Stillmatic, there was another album. What album was after Stillmatic?
Lost Tapes.
I thought it was
Lost Tapes. Okay, so maybe it was Lost Tapes.
Lost Tapes.
It was around the same time.
Yeah, they came out around the same. Like he dropped Stillmatic in December, right, of 2001. He dropped Lost Tapes, I think, in like 2002, but in January or February, one of them shits, he kind of just released it and shit.
He had the Queensbridge album too.
Out of nowhere.
What about the Queensbridge compilation?
His album was before Stillmatic.
Okay, because I remember he was just dropping stuff like
kind of like what he's doing now. Like
what's the album with Quan on it? With
that was Godson.
That's Godson.
From days come and nightfall to the rest of my
So I think so that might be before the Lost Tapes.
That's the double album. The double album is
You talking about Street Disciple?
Yeah, that's
Street Disciples. I think it was
that came after. That was after Godson.
Yeah, Street Disciple was after Godson. It was a double CD.
Oh,
damn!
It's been a lot of years, man.
That was actually a dope album too. People.
Then he did Hip Hop Is Dead. Hip Hop Is Dead was after that.
That was the controversial one.
Yeah. That was a dope album though.
Yeah, no, he had a dope concert and all that.
I think like me after the Lost Tapes, I became a fan. Like that was like, you can't tell me anything wrong about Nas no more. Nas come up with something that's not hot, I'd be like, where he come up with some hot.
The Street Disciples album is the one where he did the shit with his dad. That he did that with his dad. He did
that was Street Disciple.
That was Street Disciple.
That's when he got married to Khalees, and he had that song called Remember the Times I F'd All the Dimes.
Yeah.
Remember the Times I Fucked a Few.
Yeah.
And he had the Making of the Perfect Bitch.
Yep.
That song was crazy. That song was dope. Moment of Silence.
Yeah, that's a Street Disciple.
Yep.
Yep, that's Street Disciple.
I like that.
Naming all the songs on Street Disciple.
I like that how he did the story about that dude, the dude named Sekou. that he met the dude in the Caribbean. They find out the dude get killed, and then the dude's woman was rapping on it. They find out she had AIDS or something like that.
Yeah, that's all connected with Moment of Silence. They're all connected.
Yeah. So when it got
Live
to those
now,
stories,
niggas.
I was just like, oh.
Yeah, live now.
Live now, nigga.
But one of the visions I have for hip hop. Remember how the other day we was talking about those licensing and if you can drive a car without a license and all this other stuff
on the Hangout? Yeah.
See, now all these rules, the Constitution, Bill of Rights, was created by European men who most of them, not all of them, had Africans as slaves and servants, right? So when we're talking about those kind of rules, what do they apply to us as citizens? Do they? Because we weren't there for the signing. No one there to represent us. Not even the indigenous Native Americans. So when you think about when it comes to hip hop, imagine if hip hop was around at that time, the way we know it. And they came up with the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. Do you think things will be different? You think things will be a little bit more fair? Because think about it, like if peace, unity, love, and fun is the foundation, right? And it was, the Africans, whether it be FBA, Continental, Caribbean, Latino, and European and Asian who were present when that was put together, things will be a little different because now we were there. Hip hop having to take that place.
Right.
Everywhere. Like, so the Temple of Hip Hop, shout out, they're building a hip hopia in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. They're trying to have a hip hopia built there. That's the goal. But imagine if there was like a hip hop town or city or a hip hop space wherever there's a majority of hip hoppers that. So in the United States, let's just say every state has a hip hop town. And then with this thing going on with the UK, that happens in the UK. Then it happens in Africa. Then it happens in Asia. In South America. And where there's hip hop, they also got to be involved with the maintenance of those areas. Let's take it further. This is a controversial one. I was meditating on this the other day. If hip hop was in charge of the country, what do you think? How do you think they will handle those issues, those alleged issues at the border? So, people sneaking into the country, right? This has been a debate with the United States for so long. Oh, they're sneaking in. Oh, these immigrants. I hate that word, immigrant. This. Why is it? So, what if hip hop actually ran things? Here's how I think it would go down. If our security was at that border, yo, who are you, man? Why you coming into our territory, man? Yo, man, I'm just trying to get my kids safe, man. They're trying to kill me because I didn't like the person in charge.
We'd be like, word?
Word? Let's look into that. Yo, let's fact check that. Oh, okay, your president's a piece of crap. You know what? Stay over here for a second. Now, what if someone came over here, he was a piece of shit, child molester, killer? Oh, what you coming over here? I just want a better opportunity. Yo, what's your name, man? Let's look this dude's name up. Oh, no, y'all. You got to go back over there.
Man, you a buster.
No, fam. Nah, fam. You got to get back over that border. This ain't fair, man. This is supposed to be the land of the free. Yeah. But you're going to be oppressing other people. You a child molester and you a killer. Nah, you get up out of here, fam. Oh, I tell you what. Yo, call his government. Yo, what's up? Yo, you know this dude? Yeah, he's a criminal. He's wanted. Yo, he came over here, man. I tell you what, let's make a deal, man.
You know what I think it happened if hip hop was Hip hop was the security at the border.
What?
If you got the rep of being something foul like that, you know what people with the security would do? Oh yeah, you can come in. As you walk in, they look around, be like, "Get his ass." You come in there, a couple of guys gonna press you, be like, "Oh, so you like touching little kids?"
If you are a child molester, I would definitely think they'll bring you into the black room.
Oh, so you like touching little kids, huh? Yo, what you doing? Shut the fuck up. But what's today's mathematics? Give me your shit.
But okay, I say that to say, like, we will probably, if they, let's say they're a gangbanger or something, they're a criminal class. We will contact the government. Yo, what did he do? Oh, he's known for selling drugs and doing this. All right, check it out. We got him now. We're gonna allow him to serve some time over here, and depending on how good he does, if he does good in our prison, all right, we'll consider him as a citizen. But if he fucks up, we're sending him back. You do whatever you want to do. But no. Well, listen, he's over here now. So we got him. You know, you're saying this. It seems a little sketchy. He's going to let him do 10 years here or whatever. If he does good over here,
actually,
he could be a citizen.
I think at that point it's gonna be a little more diplomatic than that. Like people are gonna advocate for it, be like, yo.
Right, it's not gonna be that simple. I'm just saying if.
Yeah, it's gonna be more simple. Like, yo, look, I chopped it up with dude. You know what I'm saying? Look like, you know, he got his head over his shoulder, man. Like, you know, let's give him a chance. And they can be like, oh, you don't know that dude. He's slick like that. He talk good game, but once you give him that chance, he's out there fucking up again. Be like, oh, word, all right, we keep an eye. I look at him. I look into it.
You see? But you see, because hip-hop, come on. Hip-hop came from the streets.
Mm-hmm.
He dealt with territory stuff.
Right.
He dealt with gang stuff. So we'll know how to deal with on a larger scale. Hey, yo, man, what you doing, man? Hey, yo, my man, you remember you calling up the Middle East? You calling up Iran? Yeah, what's up with all that noise, man? Yo, I'm just saying, man. Israel, you know, already talked to Israel. You know, we got them in check. Man, we backed them off. Listen, call off your planes, man. You know what? Kind of like what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump did it when he first got into office. He was like, listen, Palestine, Israel, I'm giving y'all 24 hours. If y'all don't have a ceasefire, I'm getting involved. They stopped that joint in an hour. What?
Yeah, but you know what's fucked up about that? I'm the big dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two little homies are fighting, and one of them is my underdog.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he in the wrong. He's always in power because I always look out to him. I send him goons, I send him guns. I got him. That's why he's out there terrorizing. Next thing you know, I come on one day, I'm like, y'all need to stop beefing. I know my little homie already put in some work.
Mm-hmm.
The other little homie can't wait to retaliate. And I come in, I be like, no more fighting. You know what? The other little homie's like, I ain't get to get my kid back. And you over here just say, I can't get him back after what he did to me? You know what? You're like, man, that's favoritism, man. Because that's your favorite little homie, man. That's why, you're going to let him whoop on me, but I don't get a chance to get back at him. That's Palestine.
So I think hip-hop would have them both sit down and talk and fight it out in private.
And you know what hip-hop would have realized?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's an intruder.
All that.
Yeah, he'll find out, be like, oh, so y'all was there wrong for this, man. Like, so y'all just walked up in there and just try to take over? And you want me to squash it? Yo, you all in the
way we're talking, it sounds funny, but that's exactly how it will go down, though.
So you just went there and took over the spot.
I think that
squash it?
If see, the way the government rolls and the way hip hop rolls would definitely be like a conflict within the land if we was to take over that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, hip hop artists, especially the type of artists that I am and others, are about the truth. And the government supports a lot of things that are just not true, which is what makes the government the government. You know what I'm saying? So like hip hop, like not only is hip hop like a culture for like the people, but it's also a certain way that like we address the news. Think about the news. Think about the media. Think about like those things. Like, would people really accept that type of truth? You know what I'm saying? Because because how we, like you said, everything you said, how we deal with it. We deal with things pretty street, but not just street, but in order in a certain way. But it's also still a taboo to people to tell the truth. If you put on the news, right, about what's really going on with the food and shit like that, and what we're addressing as hip hop when it comes to food, and how we're trying to rectify that, that'd be a problem for somebody that's trying to give us the shit. Because you think about it, a lot of the stuff that we do here in America is imported or coming from, you know what I'm saying, and it's dealt with deceit and poisons and shit, right? Because in other countries, like that's considered toxins. A lot of the food that people eat, right? Whether it's vegetables or meat, right? Just considered toxins. Like there's certain toxins in vegetables, right? That so we know the real food is vegetables, fruits, grains, right? But the toxins are in them here. But when you go somewhere else and you eat that shit, you're like, yo, this shit is different. It feels different instantly because now you're knowing. So that's what hip hop would tell the truth on that shit. Hip hop would be like, yo, we don't fuck with money. We'll say the shit on the damn State of the Union address, especially if I was president. You know what I mean? Oh, we on the State of the Union address. Yeah, that bullshit y'all eating. Don't eat that shit.
You would probably say that to the merchant. Like, so if the country's giving you the messed up stuff, we'll check them right there. Yo, what's up with this? Nah, fam, come on, man. We feel
you be like,
man, get it right.
No. I'd be like, nah, man, y'all got that bullshit over here.
Yeah,
Them cats in Japan, yo, they got the real shit over there. Yo,
I don't think
cucumbers are real over there.
I don't think the public would notice that part. We might report on it. So let's say if we're dealing with another country, they're giving us some swine infested, rice or something like that, and yo, dude, this got pork all over them, man. Well, yo, do you eat this crap? Whoa, we figured Americans, no figure nothing. You didn't tell us that. We're paying you for rice, and you giving us swine-infested rice. They probably report, yo, this country's a piece of shit. They try to give us some old fucked up ass rice, so we ain't fucking with them anymore. Just to let y'all know, we're gonna go to China. And then some Americans are like, why are we going to China? We should get the rice from wherever, from India. I'm like, no, we're going to China. Yeah. India's fucking up. And if China does the same thing, all right, you know what?
Respectfully,
we're not going to go.
Respectfully,
fuck them.
We love the flakes. The Kung Fu flakes are bang. We love them. But fuck China.
Let's be honest. If it was hip hop, we'll be getting our rice from one place, in one place only. Africa. If hip hop was in we going to Nigeria or Ghana or something.
It be like rice. We want that jollof.
Yep, jollof rice.
Like, hey, we want jollof.
White folks be mad as shit. I don't want jollof rice. I want that white Uncle Ben. Yo.
Be like, my brother.
Rinse it off, man. Rinse it off.
So rinse around and rinse it off.
Yeah, rinse it off. Make it white. I mean, we giving you black wild rice.
Yeah, don't bleach it now. Just rinse it off.
But no, I remember in the early 2000s, I remember going to the hip hop political conference in New Jersey. I mean, honestly, I think, me personally, shout out to those organizers. They kind of messed up because they should have took that serious. When we were voting on delegates and voting on laws and all that, there was hardly anybody in that, auditorium. Why? Because they thought it was a good idea for Wyclef, Dougie Fresh, and Slick Rick to be performing at a block party right across the street, right at the time we're supposed to be voting.
What?
You heard me? You heard me 100% correct. So, me and Renzo, me and Logical, his hip hop name, We went to New Jersey.
Yeah.
To the Hip Hop Political Conference, the Hip Hop Agenda Political Conference. I have the paperwork here somewhere.
Hip Hop Agenda Political Conference.
Yeah, the Hip Hop Political Agenda Conference. It was a big conference that they had that hip hoppers were supposed to be changing the vote, okay, influencing the vote, and putting our own laws and our own thing involved with the election.
Okay.
This is around time Bush was in office. So that was the fuck Bush era. Everyone was saying fuck Bush.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also this is also a time where Michael Moore came out with the book Stupid White Men.
Mm-hmm.
So Chuck D was there. Mad people. Cynthia McKinley was there. I think the new black, Malik Zulu Shabazz was there. There's a whole lot of people there. But the day everyone was supposed to be voting on certain issues that go on to the ballot, I believe, or go on to the agenda, hardly no one was there. And that was around 7 o'clock. I never forget it. We was like, yo, where is everybody? They had announced, so right across the street we got a block party, and we got Wyclef, and we got Rod Digger, and we got W. Fresh and Slick Rick.
And this was in New Jersey.
New one.
And they had a block party
right across the street.
The same day
in the park across the street.
So that they authorized that. See, let me shut up.
No, don't shut up. No, talk your shit. Please talk your shit. I'm still irritated to this day over this dumb shit.
So they had a block party across the street from an event that's supposed to change a vote for the Black agenda.
I kid you not. I wish I could get logical on here. I kid you not. We was like, yo, everyone was at the block party.
That's goofy. So
Wyclef was over there like, I'll be going till November. So
you're telling me that he didn't? Here's my problem with this. You're telling me that all of these Jersey cats that did that block party knew about that block party, did the block party, but didn't know about the whole Black agenda vote over here?
There was people there voting, right? But the way I'll put it. Here's the way we were thinking. We were thinking that there was going to be a whole group of people in there. That's why we went down there. And we're thinking that we're going to be voting on things, saying yay and nay, and we thinking mad people. These motherfuckers were across the street. There was a park across the street. And I remember, because when we realized that no one was there, the thing was over, we went over there. We went there. I think Doug and Slick Rick were on stage. Slick Rick got over there and was like, hey, yo, man, I'm just going to be honest, man. All this voting thing is bullshit, man. Fuck Bush, fuck John Kerry. They're both that skull and bone shit. Their voting don't do nothing for you, man. I'm just like, okay, done. You know what? Me and Logical is like, you know what? We're here. Let's just enjoy the fucking show.
All you can do right now.
So they basically boycotted the vote.
Yeah.
Not even a boycott. It's just that. So Slick Rick, and I commend Slick Rick because he was real, because he said some real shit. It's just that when they asked him about it, and it's not his fault, they asked him. He said, I'm not gonna lie, dog. All that voting thing is crap, man. I mean, they don't count the people's votes. Bush got put into office and no one voted for him. What's the point in doing all this vote stuff? That's just my honest opinion. Y'all come here to do what you do. You do what you do.
But that's what I'm saying. They knew about that shit. Wow.
Yo, I kid you not, man. I kid you not. I gotta get logical on this show. So,
but at the time, I think that was the era. At that time, like me personally, if I knew that was the voting thing going on and across the street there's Slick Rick and them performing, I probably would have just went across the street. The way I used to feel back, like when Bush got in office, I was just like, it don't matter. That's how I felt. I would have went across the street too. Like,
but see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Because we had just seen Dougie Fresh in Boston that year, and Slick Rick at that what's that place downtown and over there across from New England Medical Center. There was a club over there. I think a hotel's there now.
Yeah, by right on Mania Cast.
Yeah, over there across from that school, that Asian school. Well, anyway, it was over there. And we had just seen him. So we're like, yo, we were Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick out that year because we seen him 3 times. And now we're there. It's a conference. It's free. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we came all the way out here. We came all the way out here just for no one to be here because they want to see Wyclef. And Wyclef did a dope show. It's just that, yo, why would you schedule a block party with these high-level artists at the time performing during an important time? You should have just had that later on, after the vote. Well, maybe it's something I'm missing. I don't know, but yeah. Yo, listen, we need to do better, man. I'm still irritated with that.
I guess Clef didn't go back there till November.
Yeah, he said I'll be gone till November.
Yeah, go back. He just left.
Yeah, man, he was on the stage playing his guitar. He did a little freestyle about how he caught his woman cheating on him. I caught my woman cheating, so I went. I grabbed the gap. I kicked the door open. I seen her in the bed with another woman. You know what I did? I said, yeah, I came all the way down here for him to tell me that. Oh,
yeah, then again, this is what I be saying, right? Sometimes if we're really about the movement in hip hop, then we want to have fun with the songs that put out there. Like, if you're gonna do that, you gotta make sure you got plenty of songs addressing the issue.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. Clef was just performing. And I like Clef. Clef is a dope MC, a dope artist. He's actually one of my favorites. He was actually my favorite in the Fugees. But he wasn't addressing any of that shit. He might have said a couple of things here and there. Yeah, make sure you vote. Yeah, okay, I'll be going in November.
We gotta do better when it comes to that.
Yo, listen, man, Joe, fuck George W. Bush. He's a piece of shit, yo. Check it out, man. When I was young, when I wanted to play the guitar, because I knew I was taking that far. Shit like that. And Dougie, the thing about Dougie is 100% fun, which is why he's such a dope MC, performer, beatboxer, everything. He's 100% fun. He don't really do politics. I mean, he might address some things. He keeps it real simple and really fun. Okay. So Dougie wasn't saying any of that. We were just having a good time with them. Okay. That's why I'm a professional Dougie Fresh showgoer fan. I don't see him so many fucking times. And Slick Rick only seen when Dougie pulled him with him. He'll bring Slick Rick on the stage. And Slick Rick is also dope on the stage. He flies fuck, dope performer, dope MC. It's just that, when you're in the mode to be doing something, you're not in that mind frame to be at a concert when you're supposed to be doing political stuff.
True.
And we just said, okay, fuck it.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like a lot of usually when I'm performing, a lot of the shows is usually there's a cause in mind when I put it together. So it's fun when you're doing it, but I don't see myself just be like, oh, we're gonna have some fun today. I feel like we're gonna move some spirits today. That's my approach.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's like I've been to plenty events, even the ones I put in myself. You know what I mean? I might have a DJ that I didn't really communicate that vision with. Next thing you know, they start playing like the pre-show. They're playing certain songs and I'm listening to it be like,
throw your guns in the air and pop up like you just...
Yeah, sometimes even that, sometimes I might rock with it for a little bit or some nostalgia shit. Then eventually I'd be like,
you be the infamous murder bus, official Queensbridge murderers.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it starts like that too, because it'd be like one of my favorite songs, but then I start like, it's putting me in this vibe, but it's a totally different vibe that I want to be on. But I'm talking about going crazy as far as playing some songs that I want to play. Straight radio, like, yo, this is not us. I remember having a show like the place, I don't even know if I should mention the artist's name. But the play, I was like, I didn't know whose song it was. I was like, what are we listening to? Then when I was told who the artist was, I was like, that's not hip hop. Then I was wrong as far as industry standards. I was wrong, but that was really hip hop, like number one type hip hop.
Oh,
sorry, man. Ain't doing it.
Your sound went off a little bit.
Oh yeah, is it back now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I just felt like that was not the hip hop that I was feeling. You know, this is the movement right here. Sometimes we gotta know, like, are we just having fun or are we having a ritual when it comes to hip hop? Most of the time when it comes to us, we having a ritual. So you know what I mean? If we're gonna eat the food today, we say grace. That's what we do. We say grace. Then after we've done saying grace, I can come in and eat all the food. But I'm saying grace.
Yeah, we gotta handle business first.
Yeah. So that's what
the African way.
Yeah, that's what my role in hip hop is mostly that. I might have a fun song here and there, but a lot of the joints, like I just like stating facts and putting some perspectives and all that. So if I'm gonna have a show that's my show, I want a lot more of that vibe.
I think that's the purpose of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the purpose. To be able to, like, so when we're having fun, because the way we have fun, and they displayed this on the movie Wild Style perfectly. Da 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 dee 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 da da. But dee 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 da da. Come on, I want y'all to pretend that your other hand is that dude that kidnapped all those young boys in Atlanta. You see how we threw that in there? But he kept it fun. It's political, but he put it on their minds like, oh, okay. Because when you're having fun, that's cool. But when you're there for business, you're there for business. Like, so the Zulu Nation was mentioned. They had something called the Infinity Lessons. That was the knowledge. That was school. That was education or edutainment. It was you sit in a circle, you're listening to the master teacher talk, you're learning something. The show comes later, whether it's a cypher or a DJ or party, that comes later. Right now, we're doing the knowledge right now. We gotta focus. Same when they had that hip hop meeting over there at the Schomburg Center, the Arthur Schomburg Center. That's when the Hip Hop Declaration of Peace was developed. No party. The party was probably late. I'm pretty sure they got together and, Grand Wizard Theodore or Bam or Herc was on the ones and twos and all that, but they had to talk about what we're going to do for this culture. Okay, what are we doing with this? What is this hip hop thing? What are we doing with this? Where are we going with this? Are we just going to rap all day? to where the Temple of Hip Hop dedicated a whole chapter to just that meeting called the movement. This was it. This was an important meeting that we got to talk about one day. Okay, that's where the culture has to go from this to that. It has to transmute from what it is now to something greater. And I think this US versus UK thing is the beginning of that. Because now, and I also think someone's promoting a show. This is all being instigated probably because someone's promoting some sort of tour throughout Europe. Or for them to come here. And I would like, there's a couple of UK artists. Before I continue, I got to give them a shout out. Skepta, Maestro Fresh West, and Big Narsky. Those are 3 UK artists that I think are crazy on the mic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how relevant they are right now. You know how the young boys are, but we're hip hop, man. Irrelevancy is irrelevant. You dope. But I think this could be big because if it happens with the United States and the UK, it's going to eventually happen with Asia. It's going to eventually happen with Africa. It's going to eventually happen with South America. It's going to eventually just keep going to where we're going to get to know all these artists all throughout the world. So it's going to be a huge platform. A lot of people are going to eat and have an opportunity to travel.
Right.
And intermingle. So now the culture is blowing. We don't need the industry anymore. We don't need the industry.
And if that's what it comes down to, then be careful. Somebody might see what great might come out of it and try to sabotage it before it happens.
Oh, the Draconians are going to be there. The Draconians are always going to
Somebody always
show them.
Somebody always going to try to sabotage it. That's
yeah. But so what we're witnessing now is getting you can see it's two. One side is looking at it like it's some kind of beef between the UK and the US. But on another side, it starts to look like, okay, this is when we start having the showcase. Starts to bring some of maybe these battle rappers from UK to come to our here, or us going out there. Maybe that's opening the door.
I don't have a problem with any of that's being said. What I have a problem with is the misinterpretation of what it could be that can come from it. Because when you have, we just witnessed 2 artists.
Yo, Ambi, hold that thought for a minute.
Yeah.
Let me make sure this thing is recording right.
It is recorded.
It is recorded, right?
Yeah, it's recorded.
Yeah, it would have said stop.
So, the misinterpretation of what it could be is the problem. So, when you're talking about doing those type of unification moves, there's always, like you said, somebody's always trying to sabotage it. And then who controls the media controls the people's minds. You know what I'm saying? A person that controls the media, if the media is on some, let's try to corrupt this thing, that's what they're going to do. They did it with Biggie and Pac. You know what I'm saying? They've done it. And we just watched 2 kind of current cultural icons go at it in 2024 with the West Coast guy taking the victory. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many people, especially way social media is now, everybody takes everything so sensitively. Like everybody's so sensitive that they'd be like, well, I'm a Drake fan. And it's like, what does that have to do with you being a Drake fan? I mean, if Drake lost the battle, you could still be a Drake fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like when people felt like Jay won, right? Or in the beef with Nas, or people feel like Nas won. I felt like Nas won, right? You can still be a Jay fan. You ain't got to cry about it. But then now social media is so easy to access now that everybody has their own little opinions, and then they create media for people to act out. You know what I'm saying? Because now, would you have think about the podcast. We're doing a podcast right now. We're doing a podcast to balance this thing out. There's more podcasts that unbalances the level. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody's podcast, right? But there's a lot of podcasts that unbalances the level. I'm not even gonna say the names because then people get sensitive. Who are you talking about? People? I talk about everybody. Let's be honest. Like anybody that knows me, I talk about everybody. So don't take it sensitive. I talk about you to your face, not to your face, to your mother, to your daddy. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right in front of your face.
Yeah, right. And so I'm not that guy that just going. I talk about you. If you take it the wrong way, that's your problem, right? But there's a lot of podcasts geared towards corrupting the culture because they don't talk about the culture. They talk about crimes. They talk about shootings and court cases. That's not hip hop culture.
No.
That's street, gangster, and prison culture.
Mm-hmm.
How did I get?
How did I get into hip hop? Was because there was people of that lifestyle that was into rap, DJing, and all that. So it came into the music of what they did and what they, you know what I'm saying? But then it turned into whatever the fascination of it. But that's not hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about those things, and I think that that's what gets moved when it comes to something like UK versus USA rap. I think it can really turn into like well, you can't come over here because of work. So hopefully we control the narrative on that. Like we said earlier, if we control the narrative on that, then it won't turn into what the East Coast West Coast war was. It won't turn into what the you know what I'm saying, the certain silly shit that happens when it comes to these type of back and forths. You know what I mean? Take battle rap as the example.
Mm-hmm.
We watched it go from a New York thing, then it was like a little bit of different boroughs. Then at a certain point it was a New York versus Philly.
Yep.
Then at a certain point it was more like a New York versus St. Louis.
Yep.
And that's how it kept going. Then it was the West Coast. Then it was Canada. But guess what? There was always the sportsmanship. It never got to a point like it was Harlem versus Philly, but we never got the Philly and New York are beefing right now. No. It was
that's true. We never really heard something like that.
Yeah, there was a beefing over the rap shit, but it was at a certain point it was the cats in Philly versus the cats in New York. They just never beefed, but it was like, yo, what y'all got?
Steady being Cool C, the Hilltop was definitely at odds with LL.
Oh, that was back then. I'm talking about recently, like with the URL.
Oh, with the battle
era.
But you know what? I think that is because those guys, and much respect to the battle scene, period. Those guys understood what they were into and what they were doing. They understood that sportsmanship, but they also understood the business is not going to function if we're just beefing on anything we say. So you got to be able to take that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, even like if you think about, all right, there was a battle, Murder Mook versus Tay-Rock. They had a double battle where Tay-Rock had said something really disrespectful about Mook's mother. Mook didn't go crazy about that shit. He had the mental Rolodex on it. I know he didn't like it because his mother passed away in 2016, right? So, on another battle, when they was doing the battles without the crowds because of COVID, right? He had mentioned that, and he had lit Tay-Rock's ass up. He kept it hip hop. He said, "I'm gonna get him the next one. I'm gonna address what I did. I don't like what he did. I want to punch him in his face, but because of the I understand." And
was that after the Math Hoffa incident?
It was after the Math Hoffa incident.
Okay, all right.
So,
the Math shit was a long time ago.
Yeah, the Math Hoffa incident happened like over 10 years ago. That was fucking years.
I just wasn't sure. When, because I didn't watch any of those.
Because he mentioned that on the his battle with Iron Solomon. You know what I'm saying? So when he mentioned the shit with Tay-Rock, I'm talking about this dude like literally brought it up on the third round where he said, fuck you and your mom's a bitch. That's what he actually said on the battle. You know what I mean? And he destroyed Tay-Rock based on that alone, because like I said, it was a double battle when he was egging on. I don't even think Tay-Rock even said it. I think it was another battle that he was having, and he said Tay-Rock egged it on. So he brought that up, and my point in saying this all is Mook didn't go to the street with it, because you talk about somebody's moms, they go to the street. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't like me. My mother passed, so for me, there's nothing you can really say that's gonna irk me, even if you say, "Yo, your mother's a bitch," da da da, because you don't know my mother, right? I'll let the ancestors do what you want that. You know what I'm saying? You don't know my mother, so it don't matter to me if what you say. Oh, your mother's a nah. I mean, you could say that. That's on you. But guess what? My mother passed away. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying in that level, I've trained myself to deal with those type of things, right? But imagine a battle rapper, right? That they saying all types of fucking. These dudes are saying shit about the kids. They're saying shit, but you don't see them fighting over that shit. Matter of fact, when you go into a battle, you might see Arsenal supporting the battle from a dude that he already said that he's gonna kill his whole family and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Because they understand the if they got to keep it to the battle, keep it hip hop, even though it's some crazy disrespect.
All fair and love and war.
Yeah, they understand that this is fair and love and war. I'm just trying to win the battle. After that, we got no problem with your ass. You know what I'm saying? So well, like what you're saying, Sadi, is like that. They have an understanding of that, regardless of what's being said. But
even though sometimes it's hard because they really get in the character. Because for those like 6 months before the battle, I kind of feel like they really hate each other till the battle. They be like, all right. Because at the time, they feel like they really like put themselves in those characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's I guess even like certain, it's hard to do. It's hard to get into character and then pull yourself out of it. So I don't think I hear it.
Well, I think when it comes to the US UK thing, the only thing that might be an issue is we don't know, or the artists involved don't know how the other artists get down. And I think that's going to be a learning experience, but that should also be a discussion. Like, if we're going to do this, all right, how do y'all get down? How far should I go? Could we talk about mothers and families? Could we talk about slave ships? That's another thing. When the white boys start talking about the slave ships, I seen the battle when a white boy brought up the slave ships, and all these dudes got mad.
What do you mean the white boy brought?
But then again, they got.
There was
I heard somebody. I said somebody, a white rapper say, I know I'm not supposed to use the N-word, but nigga, man, as soon as he said that,
he got jawed for that. I remember that.
Yeah,
like
I remember
right
that.
away.
But there was another dude, another white boy who started putting slave ships in his rhyme.
But if you can
people
get
were
away
getting
with
pissed, and I'm just like.
But
And it raises a question. I'm like, yo, listen, the way y'all be talking about shooting each other and killing each other's moms and kids and shit, this motherfucker mentions a slave ship. Y'all want to be all offended. Come on, man.
It's definitely hypocrisy. I mean, but that's where I give D1 props, because he pulls that out. He tells people,
shout out to D1.
You talk about shooting each other, but you don't want to hear somebody say slave ship. Then stop talking about shooting each other. Stop. Stop.
Man, that's a little different, man.
It's not
just real shit, man.
Like I tell people all the time, a lot of y'all do KKK hip hop, man. Y'all do like a lot of these dudes do KKK hip hop. You know what I mean? Y'all need to get a radio station, KKK hip hop. All that ignorant shit that y'all hear is on there. You know what I'm saying?
This is WKKK.
Right?
That real nigga shit.
That real nigga shit. All you hear is shit, like CB4 and shit. You know what I'm saying? All you hear is like telling you, like it's for me. I don't have a problem hearing some of that shit. I just stay away from it. You know what I mean? Like if it's something that I really don't like, I just stay away from it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You have to, like, guys like us. Of course, like, someone start pulling out, yo, bro, yeah, you know who you talking to? But you in the midst of a bunch of street goons who do this stuff for a living, and this white boy want to come out talking about some slave ships. That you want to get mad?
You want to get mad because you
disrespected my ancestors. Nigga, you disrespected your ancestors.
If any white rapper could pull that off, that's what cold motherfucker up. I'm telling you. If a white rapper could get the crowd reaction, after say some shit like that, that means he's cold. He knows how to do it. That's the chance to take. Cause I can just go. People will punch you not because they're mad. They're just punching you on principle. They just told that if some white dude calls you nigga, punch.
Listen, that white dude.
They ain't even gotta be mad.
The white dude that got punched in the face for saying the N-word, I don't even think he completed the whole N-word before he got punched in his face.
I don't even think he raps anymore. Does he rap anymore?
Pretty sure he don't. Not the way he got punched in his face.
But then again, that was a stretch. If I was his mentor, we planned on saying nigga that day, I would have told him this at the time. This is not the time.
Nah, let's not do
that. Not right now. This is not the time. It wasn't the moment for it. I like the other white dude that was like, you would not pull the trigger, you lame ass bitch. So people waiting for him to say nigga. He said, time. That was dope. I was like, oh shit.
You will not pull the trigger, you bitch ass. How you figure?
Now, he didn't even go, like, he just said time. Like, he made it look like he was going to say nigga till the time ran out. It's like, time.
I don't know. Honestly, if I was a white boy, I would do shit like that too. I would mess with people, make people think more safe than I think. I'm like, you ain't nothing but a punk ass knucklehead. You call me knucklehead? That's right. I said it. I said knucklehead. K-word.
Yeah, it's not even an N-word.
It's not even an N-word. Like, K-word.
U-Y-N? Sorry. I'm just reading your cast backward. I mean, N-Y dudes.
U-Y-N, young noodle nose ass motherfucker. Get them all riled up and shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like there is a lot to learn in the culture right now, man. There's so much to learn. Like, we're going to go through I won't be surprised if we're going to be learning certain things for the next 2 decades.
Yeah, we are. It's still growing.
It's like, there's a lot to it. Because for hip-hop to become like fully a culture, there's a lot to be done.
When hip-hopia is established, then the culture is going to be advancing, because now there's a place that we can say we belong to, even if we're not living there. And
that's only going to be a beginning of a stage.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it's going to start really being a thing. Because right now, with the Beyonders, like, yeah, we observe the holidays, whether it's Rap Music Day, Hip Hop Appreciation Week, Hip Hop Birth Phase 1, June 7th, or Phase 2, August 11th, or Phase 3, November 12th, or August, Hip Hop Recognition Month, whatever. Park Day, J Dilla Day, MF Doom Day, we observe it, but imagine where it's observed universally. Like the cats in the UK, taking MF Doom Day off, or celebrating Guru's birthday, which was yesterday, the 17th. Rest of Hip Hop Guru, or Hieroglyphic Day or Floor Lords Day, which I think is coming up. Shout out to that's Floor Lords Boston.
Coming up. That's coming up real soon, actually.
Yeah, we gotta do something special for them. But just imagine where it's like the way. Let's take Ramadan. The way Ramadan is respected and observed, or Chinese New Year's. So for hip hop, every hip hop, if you're a hip hopper, this is your holiday.
Well, I think that hip hop and African culture goes hand in hand,
Mm-hmm.
especially Black American culture. Like I think that we should have our own land where we're celebrating these things because if you go like we think about like Ethiopia, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to Ethiopia, they actually have a time where they eat. Everybody eats together. Like they have a thing where they go. Like I remember this dude was talking to me about that when I was at Mass.
Oh, that's Christmas. That's Ethiopian Christmas.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about every day at 12 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every day. He explained this to me when I was at Mass Ave. He said every day at 12 o'clock, the people, they have like 1 or 2 hours off of work or whatever they're doing to eat as a family. So if they see somebody walking down the street and they don't have a place to eat, they invite them in their house with their family and eat. Like everybody's like considered family in there, you know what I mean? And that's part of their culture. So that's what we talk about. When we talk about hip hop, there's a lot of things that we have to add to it. Because all we know right now is the first 4 to 9 elements, right? And then there's people that don't know that there's elements, period, at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to really establish a new, updated cultural aspect to hip hop. Okay.
Then again, you got to be careful when we're looking at, let's say, Black culture on the more universal, you know what I mean, perception of it. A lot of the things we might talk about, let's say this is what's going on in Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably an existing culture, but surprisingly, you might go to Ethiopia and realize that's a culture that's no longer, that ritual right there is not practiced anymore.
We're not talking about Ethiopia, but we're talking about the example of hip hop culture.
So you see, like what you just give an example.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the things, the values that we actually we can learn about it, but the people that's actually was the last one using those same values are letting it go now.
No, but we're talking. So what I'm talking about is not necessarily what they're doing. That's just an example. I'm saying how I brought up that example was part of their culture at a certain point, because it doesn't matter when they did it to me. I'm saying we need to add parts of our culture that we feel is fit to move the culture ahead. So it's updating the culture. So that's where, like, what they do, I don't know if they do it now, but I know he said it to me like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So whatever happens, we that's good. You learn from that, and if it's beneficial, we incorporate it. So it's not,
it's not necessarily incorporating that. I'm saying whatever we like as and it's gonna take more than just like what we're saying. We gotta actually, like, if hip hop is being built in Jersey, we have to be present and networking with those individuals that are really taking it serious and pushing this culture forward, because the culture can definitely grow. Like, if you think about it, what were people? There's so many different African aspects to culture, right? Everybody has a different one. Like, you got tribal culture, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop can definitely grow that aspect of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Where we can create, build, and grow it with our innovation of culture. You know what I'm saying? You might take something from African culture. Some people might take something from European culture. Some people would take something from like I'm from Boston. So I don't know, but like me personally, I'm from Boston. There's a lot of bullshit that destroys culture here. You know what I'm saying? But you can take certain shit, you know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, you know what I mean? We can add this, you know what I'm saying? So New York, they have certain shit, you know what I mean? And so I think that it's going to take time, and it's going to take really generations after us, right? To really establish.
It's more like a cleanup process.
Yeah, because
try to get the best culture ever. Because culture is something you build too.
Yeah, it's something you build, and something that you preserve and pass on to the youth. Right. So by the time our children, grandchildren, they're going to be the ones that's more cultivated in hip hop than us. We're kind of in the middle between pioneering
Yeah, like I was saying, a lot of us we hip hop on our own. It's not like we grew up at home. It's like my house. I was hip hop in my room.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You walk in my house, it's not hip hop till you get it. But now it's different. We got cribs that's hip hop.
Yeah.
From the drive where you hip hop, your car's hip hop already.
I'm waiting to see, and I might do that shit before I get old. You know what I'm saying? Is if I get like a house, a big house, I want to see some fly ass graffiti on a house. That's a house. Like somebody built a house from the ground up and just see some fly ass graffiti. Maybe even my face because I'm that arrogant.
You be like what, you got a wooden house, but why this side of the wall is brick built?
Why they got the brick shit right here?
Why you got the bricks over here? Be like,
you got the Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? You got the Pharaoh on the damn. You know what I'm saying? On the brick building. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like some shit like that. You know what I mean? I've seen whole buildings with graffiti on it, but it was illegal. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like somebody actually built their house and they had the graffiti on it. And it's just dope. Like you go into their yard and they might have a basketball court with hip hop designs on it, and it's all mural shit. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see somebody do that. I think I'm gonna do that too.
You use a different kind of paint.
Yep.
Like the same paint you paved the road with. Like that, because it's that would stay on the wall. Years.
But what I would do, it wouldn't be like a building that anybody can get to. It would be like they'll be fenced off and shit or something. Because you know, if you leave a building like that, like an apartment building, they're gonna put their own little graffiti on their damn shit. You know? But I want to see shit like that. I want to see a couple, like a whole area where there's like hip hop.
Have a protected wall.
Yeah, like the street. Like I want to see like an area where the street signs is hip hop graffiti on it. Like as far as it's designed in a graffiti form.
Somebody tag stop.
Yeah. You know, this is KRS-One Street. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? See that on there, but it's in graffiti, right? You know what I'm saying? Big Brother Sadi Lane. You know what I mean? They'll have the graffiti that says Big Brother Sadi Lane, and it has the African continent right next to it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have the, you know what I mean?
Our national anthem starts with a scratch.
Yeah, exactly. You know, our police would have cars drive by and booming systems. Cars drive by.
Booming systems.
Cars drive by.
The police is coming by.
You know what's funky.
Hey, yo, freeze.
Heard it from me, see?
Listen, our supermarkets will only have like hip hop music.
Right.
Restaurants. You know what I mean? I want to see some shit like that. I'll be honest with you. I would love to see like, and even if like anybody who's watching the podcast, right? I would love somebody to come up with the ideas to do that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's dope for history. You know what I mean? It's dope for history because like really like what we're doing is making history. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, the youth are gonna take that history and add on how they feel is fit. You know what I mean? Whether we get old or transition, they'll be the ones. So we gotta establish something that they can actually take it and be like, yo, this is what we're gonna add to hip hop. This is what my dads did and my granddad's did. We're gonna take it and elevate it this way. You know what I'm saying?
Get on.
And they want her to do a lot more than really breaking down a lot of things just to get it ready for them.
Yeah.
Because right now, if we're going to talk about culture, like I always go back to this side of the conversation. I haven't really got too far for it. It's going to be a day when I'm going to just focus on speaking on it. Is understanding, knowing and understanding what culture is. You know what I'm saying? And determine what's culture when we're talking about hip hop. Because you got. But the thing is, hip hop started at being off a certain culture that already existed, that was already looking like hip hop. The hip hop came out of that. And from hip hop itself, there was a culture that developed from it. And those two cultures are different. The culture that started hip hop it's more rigid than the culture that hip hop started. Because when hip hop started the culture, it went different many ways. You know, you got your rappers over here, you got your industry over here, you got your purists over here. But the thing is, when the state of black culture that started hip hop, it was just b-boys and DJs. The MC wasn't even there yet. You know what I'm saying?
The MC was doing, so when you say the MC, it wasn't separated from the DJ and
Yeah.
So at a certain point, the MC separated from the DJ, and he was talking about the DJ, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, because there was moving the crowd, and the DJ had to focus on moving the crowd. So he needed that dude to be like, yo, DJ Kool Herc, and boom, 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 or whoever was MCing at that time.
And the thing is, to be an MC, you had to earn the respect of the DJ. Because if the DJ ain't fucking with you like that, you ain't getting a mic from
Well,
him.
be the foundation, because, like you said, the B-boys and the B-boys needed the music, and that came from who? DJ.
DJ.
You know? So that's why you see me at the shows, right?
Mm.
Anytime there's a DJ there, I make sure I give props to the DJ.
Always.
And I always say, when it comes to the DJ, give the DJ props, because without that element, without him or her, we don't exist. We can't. What we rapping to? I mean, we could do the acapella shit, but you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? You know, if it ain't that DJ, then you know what I'm saying?
Then if we could just do acapella joints,
that's true too. But I'm still gonna give props to DJ even when I'm doing the acapella, because that
Still gotta give props to him.
you know, because he's the foundation. Like the DJ is that dude. Like I always give respect to that DJ. I don't care if the DJ suck. You know what I'm saying? I give props to the DJ because, you know, that's the foundation. A lot of DJs now don't really know how to DJ, but like, a lot of times, especially if I don't know them, a lot of them don't really know how to DJ. They don't come from what we come
All
from.
the MCs don't know how to MC.
Exactly. So that's the part where when you have more years with this exist, then you get a lot of people that don't really do this well. But, you know, I give props to them anyway, because they're doing something that came from a trend that started this whole thing. We wouldn't have this podcast if we wasn't for the DJ, the breakers, graffiti artists, and the MCs first that had the knowledge. And then now we're applying that to give people a sense of not just history, but a sense of culture building. You know what I mean? So like building culture starts with the thoughts, then the conversation, then you actually put in the work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Sadi said, there's a lot that you got to do to push for this to be a complete culture. And sometimes it won't even be complete for years, man.
Yeah.
You think about think about what the 5%ers started from and where they would be in about 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Think about where the Nation of Islam will be in 50 years. Think about, and I'm saying 50 years from now, because they already existed about 50 or more years. I mean, the Nation of Islam been around forever. You know what I'm saying? And the 5% has been around since 69. You know what I'm saying? The nation, the YP Nation been around since 67, but hasn't really gotten a lot of recognition since the Ansar days of the 80s. So imagine where a lot of these cultures would be in 50 years. So hip hop, you know, and where's it going to be 50 years from now with what we're doing? You know what I'm saying? And not just us, but others, because there's other people out here. I'm all for that country. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for hip hop here. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, hip hop plays an important role in just development, but especially in Black development, in my experience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the culture aspect of it and pushing for more culture than industry. You know what I'm saying? I think we can establish our own industry that's ran by culture. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I like to be the example. I feel like I'm a living example of a person that built his own industry, but push culture. You know what I'm saying? So if we do that on a wide scale, you know what I'm saying? That can change so many dynamics of what's going on.
True.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's like we I always look at it like we really have a situation where we still building. The culture's here. It's like you said, you were the example.
Yeah,
But still learning.
I'm one of the examples.
You know what I mean?
Still learning as well.
Still learning.
We all are.
And it's like and just understanding that it's a ongoing process. Learning process don't stop. It's like life. Life is a learning experience that's eternal.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta be careful when you start pointing fingers on make a decision. This is it and nothing else. Like you gotta be careful.
Yeah, you definitely can't do that.
Evolve.
Yeah, some people can't do that. You definitely can't.
And then again, it's like, then you got to balance, because sometimes you got to recognize this is what it is. Certain things don't change. You know what I mean? Certain things are meant to grow and change. Certain things needs to stay where it is. It's just like the building going to change as you're building it, but the foundation stays what it was. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And every deck is a foundation for another structure to get on. But the original foundation is what it is. So as you build it, you have to be conscious of what the foundation is.
I think that's the important part of teaching, is to make sure that foundation is at least acknowledged, known, and respected. I think the biggest difference with like we're considered, like to a person that's in like 22 years old, we're considered old heads to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to establish, like, yo, you need to know this foundation, because that was something that they asked KRS One like at least 10 years ago. They asked KRS One about the hip hop that's going on today, and he said a lot of cats are innovative. They want to innovate the culture, but they don't know the foundation, which is why they sound like that. You know what I mean? So I don't disrespect them, but I also let them know, like, you gotta know the foundation first before you try to innovate something new. You know what I mean? And I totally agree with that, because it's like you said, if you don't have the foundation, how could you innovate something?
I was about to say, that's kind of impossible. How you be innovative? You don't even know what you innovate.
Yeah, like there's a foundation of playing basketball, right? You might not, like Bob Cousy is not doing the shit that these guys are doing now, right? But you still got to know what Bob Cousy did. You know what I'm saying? Which he was a Boston Celtics player. He's point guard for Boston Celtics, one of the top 75 players. So now, if you don't understand what Bob Cousy did, how are you going to understand what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did? How are you going to understand what Magic Johnson did? How are you going to understand what Michael Jordan did? Michael Jordan is considered the greatest player of all time, but he knows the history, right? Mm-hmm. So, and he retired. Now they're talking about LeBron James versus Mike and all this other stuff. Those guys wouldn't exist if they didn't know the foundation.
Right.
Or at least some foundation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
now, they got certain things that's not even necessary to be making comparisons.
Yeah, exactly.
You just gotta state it the way it is. Like,
but that's a problem with fame too. It's like when you like somebody, that comes from like people deifying celebrities.
Right.
That part right there.
Because like you deifying celebrities, you can be a fan of these people in the sense. This is why I speak on. I don't deal with fanhood like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're turning them into a freaking Jesus figure. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't have to do that. If you like Michael Jordan, you like Michael Jordan.
Right.
If you like LeBron James, you like LeBron James. If you feel like LeBron James is the greatest of all time, that is your right as a person that supports the sport. Me, I come from an era where Jordan was the man. You know what I'm saying? So I rock Michael Jordan. I don't even listen. Like I watched LeBron James play. I would never say he's better than Mike. Right? That's me. I'm not gonna argue with you about it. You know what I mean? They'd be like, just like I'm from the era of hip hop. My favorite rapper is Nas. To me, Nas is the, you know what I mean? Oh, Eminem's better. That's your problem. I like Nas.
Right. That's totally your opinion. You know what I'm saying?
It's your opinion if you think Eminem is the greatest. It's your opinion if you think Jay is the greatest. It's your opinion if you think that everybody. I'm saying Nas is the greatest. The problem is that I don't try to convince people that Nas is the greatest. That's my goal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So when it comes to that, it's like like Sadi said, the comparison, you don't need to do that because this is who you like. You know what I mean? This is who you're playing in your CD player or your iPod or your iPhone or your tablet. This is who you're playing. You know what I mean? So
see, what makes it difficult for me, and I agree with what you're saying, but this whole the whole comparison thing, the foundation thing. Now you mentioned Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. I hate to say this, but I will say it. I'm old enough to remember Dr. J.
Oh yeah.
Now, I y'all know I'm not into sports like that, but I remember Dr. J. I remember, my brothers watching Julius Erving on the television.
Erving's bad.
And so it's the same. And I know it's a lot of people don't mention Dr. J anymore. They don't mention Julius Erving anymore. The only one they'll mention is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, respectfully.
Yeah.
They don't mention Julius Erving anymore. That he's the legend. I see that with hip hop too. Like, I keep seeing these memes. Who's better, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Wayne, Pac, Eminem? You notice how no one ever mentions anyone prior to these cats?
Oh.
No one mentions Lord Finesse. How come Lord Finesse is... I remember going out on the block, and there was never a hip-hop conversation without someone mentioning Lord Finesse, Craig G, G-Rap, as who was better, and getting into full-blown arguments over who was better. I remember... And shout out to Insight, because we were doing red shirts. I remember a big debate while we were working as red shirts was between Lord Finesse and Craig G. Like a big debate. Oh man, Lord Finesse, you crazy? Craig G messing with Lord Finesse. Like, Craig G heard that son rip the shreds? What? Suddenly, Nas, Jay-Z, Big come out. I don't hear anyone going, and I'm talking about cats our age. They don't go further than them.
Yeah.
So my thing is, the comparison is like, okay, it's all subjective. My thing is for hip hop, like, yo, especially the cats our age. What about the legends before that? How come they're not being mentioned anymore? Or are we only going by who's selling records?
So I think when it comes to that issue, people got to be a little more intelligent if we're really going to get into these discussions, because you got to understand one thing, like you say, who's the better, best, whatever is subjective to a lot of people. Like me, I always look at situation when certain situations are not to be subjective. Some things has to be objective. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to line up, let's say, for example, people want to line up Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, and who else? Let's say
Biggie,
J, Pac, Nas, and Biggie.
And now they're putting Wayne and Eminem in the category.
Yeah, they put them out there, right? They say who's the better, who's the greatest, the baddest, whatever. The thing is, be specific. How you judging them on? Wordsmithing? You know what I'm saying? The wordsmith, it's so many categories you got to judge them by, to the point that don't just make those crazy quick comparison and want to keep it moving. Nah, you're going to stay in the lessons. Let's learn about it. So out of all of them, as far as wordsmithing, I would say Tupac is not really off that wordsmithing thing.
No.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, Eminem is probably the most when it comes to that. And after him, I probably give it to Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z is a good learner when it comes to those.
Very lyrical, he's a lyricist.
Now, Biggie and Nas, they can do that, but they don't focus on that. Biggie focus on the cadence. Nas focus on what he's trying to... Nas, at that point, and that aspect is more like Pac.
Biggie he's a lyricist. He focuses a lot on punchlines.
Nas yes, not the wording. To him, the wording is second nature.
Mm.
He's focusing on said the wildest, craziest thing that would make you like, oh shit, Biggie, you wild.
Right.
That's what he can do. Nas and Pac, they're really into try to get this feeling across. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, now you can put Eminem there, but guess what? Eminem gonna express what, you know what I mean, something that he already dealt with. Pac would take your feelings and express it to you, and you'll feel it.
Yeah. Pac makes you feel.
Pac would take your own feelings and twist it and give it back to you, and you cry, be like, oh, I ain't not felt this way.
But where does Wayne? What category would Wayne fall in?
So they're putting Wayne there. If it comes to Wayne, they're probably just looking as far as fame. Like who has the outreach? So you're gonna look at Wayne with Jay-Z probably. Or you're looking at Wayne with Eminem when it comes to sales.
I wouldn't call Wayne a wordsmith though.
Yeah, Wayne is not a wordsmith like Eminem is. But you know what? He does it. More like I would say he probably, you can put him out there with Eminem, the Eminem will win that. When you put it with everybody else don't really focus. It's like the wordsmith is a second nature to them.
I ain't putting Wayne out with no Eminem. No.
Wayne is a generational.
Oh yeah, Eminem gonna win that.
Yeah, he's gonna win.
Wayne is a generational goal. So what that means is, to me, and I'm not taking anything away from Lil Wayne, he is the voice of the generation that created the generation now. You know what I mean? So he's that guy that looks like the punk rocker that raps. You know, he's the guy that like he has that look. He's more of an image generational GOAT, right? So it's not that Lil Wayne sits in the seat with the GOATs, but he sits in the seats of the GOATs because of what he did for the generation of listeners, right? That follow him, right? But then you have Eminem. Eminem is the crossover GOAT. And I say that because Eminem, he's a lyricist, he's an MC, he can perform, right? But he's the one that bridged the gap with whites and blacks listening to hip hop on a mass scale past Beastie Boys. So Beastie Boys is the ones that actually bridged those gaps. But Beastie Boys followed the Run DMC format because of who their producer was.
Right.
You know so you didn't have like a certain, like after Beastie Boys, it took them at least 4 to 5 years to get the type of MC, white MC that they wanted, you know what I mean, to fit that crossover gap of a white artist that was successful in this music shit. They had to get the lyricist that Eminem was. It had to be Dr. Dre, because Dr. Dre gave him a voice and a sound. You know what I'm saying? Though Eminem, he was nice, but if he didn't have Dr. Dre's simplistic sound, it wouldn't have worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he could have did tracks over Jay Dilla's beats. He had to do Dr. Dre shit, you know what I mean? To actually people hear him. So I think Eminem is a crossover. He's a go to that crossover hip hop, in the sense of
that makes sense. The backpacker going into the mainstream,
right, and making it where whites and black folks listen to this guy, kind of like what Michael Jackson was to pop music. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, right? Now, when you talk about wordsmith content, when I look at the GOAT, I talk about wordsmith, content, delivery, style, right? My GOAT has all of those things when I'm looking at these things. So you would definitely put Biggie in there. You would definitely put Busta Rhymes in there. You definitely put like Rakim in there. You definitely put Karis One in there, and definitely Nas in there, right?
I'm putting Kane in there.
Kane will be in there. So depending on what you are listening to, that's why it's hard to. It's really what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Big Daddy Kane fan, but I'm also a freaking Slick Rick fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm also a Dougie Fresh fan. I'm also a, you know what I'm saying? So it's really based on what you like. And when you look at somebody like Nas is the underground mainstream GOAT. And I say that because he doesn't move like a mainstream artist. Though this dude has $1 billion accumulated business. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't move like a mainstream artist. If you think about, he stopped moving like a mainstream artist when he fucked up on the mainstream artwork. Like when he did Hate Me Now with the leather suit, sweating and shit. When he did You Owe Me with Genuine. When he did songs like, when he started putting those as singles, that's where he was fucking up, right? But
that's where we had something bad to say about Nas.
Yeah. That's the era when we said, yo, what the fuck is this dude doing? Because we heard Illmatic. We were spoiled with Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? So when we heard it was written, we was like, yo, okay, that's what's up. We heard I Am, that's when he was like, yo, what the fuck? Even though he had some joints on there, like what was it?
We Will Survive. The song about Pac and Biggie.
Yep, but then he had Nas's Light, which is one of my favorite joints.
Nas's Light was also,
you know what I'm saying? He did New York State of Mind Part 2. You know what I'm saying?
That was dope.
So he had some dope joints on there. I just felt like he should let some shit out. Like the
Kid. That Genuine song could have kept that in the track.
That Genuine joint was on the Nostradamus shit. He should have took that shit out. He I felt like he should have did a video for Project Windows. Right?
You know who else got fucked up like that? Big time. Like I think if like Craig Mack.
Yeah.
Craig Mack, Project Funk the World was the dope album. But guess what? He came out with too many, like, because I wasn't following no more. Then I decided to go into iTunes and listen to everything Craig Mack came out. The problem with Craig Mack was he was trying to do too many, one of those party music.
Because that's the label was pushing to.
Yeah, and
he became he became a part of that brand.
Yeah, and that fucked them up because Craig Mack's supposed to stay just as dope as the MF Doom, the Sean Price.
Right.
That's what he was.
100% agree. That's the problem. Glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
The labels made the artist a part of the label's branding.
Fucked up the brand of the artist.
Yeah, it fucked up the artist. Craig Mack is a lyricist. You know, he was the one spitting bars. You know, he's not supposed to be up there talking about raising the cups and doing all that shit. That's
and he has a voice for that, but that fucks up with his whole movement.
The rest of hip hop, Craig Mack, man. But damn.
For real, Craig Mack is like, I'm listening to him like, if you listen to Project Funk the World, just go back and listen how genius that shit was, how he mapped the whole shit up.
Could you imagine Craig Mack and MF Doom doing a track together?
Oh, I had that vision yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Then I woke up, I was like, damn, I'm not even home yet. I'm still driving home. But I was like, yo, MF Doom and Craig Mack was still alive and they collab on some shit.
That shit would be what?
Yo, Craig Mack should have got up with Eric Sermon on some Def Jam shit, some Def Squad shit.
Oh, Craig Mack with Eric Sermon would have been perfect.
It should have stayed. I think it could have happened. It just didn't happen. Probably signed the wrong deals and couldn't get out of.
For some reason, I think that happened.
I think Eric Sermon spoke about it.
They did a track together.
Yeah, they were supposed to work on some music. You know, Long Island cats. It fits that. K-Solo, Craig Mack, even Redman started rolling with Def Squad. Like they fit.
I would love to hear Redman. I mean, not K-Solo with Craig Mack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that would be crazy.
K-Solo got one of the illest voices in hip-hop history, man.
Okay, K-Solo. Shout out to K-Solo, man. That he was on, I saw a video of him on Expert Opinion. I don't understand how that happened, but
he got up with Death Row.
Yeah,
did he?
I didn't know that. I just found out.
I don't think he came out with anything, but I do remember him being involved with Death Row.
I remember, like, yo,
back
man,
in '95 or something like that.
Craig, K-Solo has some of my greatest verses, man. Some of them joints, man, like when he came in on Headbangers with EPMD. I'm the original rap criminal. I'm just that alone. I was like, oh, damn, this thing's voice. Like,
yep, that is an A and B type of thing.
Yeah, that his voice was.
Yeah, it was the leading force of those voices at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how like Redman came and kind of, if you do know that in Headbanger, they kind of sound like they was the same person. They looked alike, they sounded alike.
Well,
They
we
kinda
thought they
acted
were
alike.
brothers. We thought they were brothers at the time, you know.
Yeah.
That's why when Redman came out with Muddy Waters and they did that song on
Me and my big brother.
My big
he
brother.
said he called it my big brother.
Yep. That song is the dope. Do you know that song is longer than the version that we got on I think it's something like I heard a version that's a little longer. Oh, I heard a version that's Redman by himself, and it has a verse 3 of Redman.
Oh, so K Soul's not on it?
Yeah, there's a version without K Soul on there. Redman goes longer.
Oh.
Yeah, you got a verse 3, so they cut it a verse 2 and put like
He probably did that before
Soul
he did.
back.
He probably did that before they put out the song, and then they just like he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put it
Yeah,
out."
I want him in it.
Yeah. I'm on my brother K Solo up in there.
Because I did that before. I had plenty of songs. You know what I'm saying? Where I wanted a feature on it, but I recorded 3 verses. I have it, you know what I mean? But I wanted the one with the feature. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like it goes like you know how K Solo comes in. So that was like without K Solo. So the verses was one long verse.
Wow, it was like a freestyle, pretty much.
It sounded like
in a format. It was probably written, but like in the format of a 1 verse freestyle.
Yeah, it was on the same beat.
Yeah,
that's a Mantronics beat, I think.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, the video is. I'm not sure about.
No, I'm talking about that. Like when he's talking about that audio, because you know sometimes they put like.
It's on YouTube. If you search through them, one of them gonna be there.
Yeah, he put her in Redman. What's the name of that joint? It should, because it's probably put in the original cut.
The original cut, yeah, it's probably original. And then he said, like you said, I want my brother on there. Yeah. That beat was crazy.
Yeah.
Who'd you say made that beat?
You say
Who'd you say made that beat?
I think it came from Mantronics. I don't think Mantronics produced it.
Yeah, that track.
So I think I remember
keep
Big Sam telling us that it was from Mantronics. Shout out to Mantronics.
Come closer when I write you
Legend.
down like I'm supposed to. You better think you want them. You might, but then you woke up.
A legendary producer, Mantronics.
I might have to do a freestyle over that joint, man.
You know what? That might be a dope Kwanzaa cipher.
What Mantronics, that beat?
Use that beat?
That might just to end it off on some bar shit. You know, just saying.
The long face murderer, serving over 2 billion motherfuckers a day like Mickey D. Circle, working ya, shifted hours like a burglar. My crew hurting ya like we haven't even heard of ya.
This when you going to school back in the day, you had to walk, you know.
Oh, that was the
bumping
album.
his head so hard, man. What's he listening to?
You know, me and my man Eddie. I used to drive around, but like we did actually we just freestyle off the top, even though the lyrics was there. That beat, we just do it like Red and K Solo, back and forth, 8 bars a piece, right? Just driving, like we ignore the lyrics on the beat just to do that back and forth shit. That's before I even thought that one day I actually pick up a pen and write a rhyme. Yeah, I didn't think that kind of snuck up on me, man. I thought I was gonna make beats, if anything. That's what I wanted to make beats. I was buying drum machines. I was beatboxing. Then one day I'm like, oh shit, I'm on stage rapping. How the fuck this happened? I really feel like it happened when I felt like hip hop was changing and I couldn't hear what I liked like I was anymore. Then I was like, it started off with me listening to a lot of cats be like, if I was me, I would have said it like this.
Yeah, that's usually how it starts with a lot of rap fans. And
before you know it, you got your own rhymes. Like he rhymed that word different. I rhymed it different. Next, you know, that's mine. That's not his. I got, so it's more like, then I start having verse 3, and I start having verse 4 to everybody, 3 verses.
You said verse 4?
Then I learned how to count.
You're all paused.
When the outro, I start rhyming.
Simple.
Yeah, it was dope.
he's all paused. Oh, okay. that would look a dope magazine on print, like, you know, Big Brother Sardine talks about how he wanted to be a producer. Source magazine. Because you were frozen. You were frozen like this.
Then he froze. You know, that was the magazine pictures we had to put on the cover. Pause for the picture. Pause for the picture. Hit pause for the picture.
Well, we're doing it, John. We're gonna save hip hop.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna help save hip hop, because I know other people are also saving hip hop. So, you know, we're gonna be in alliance with those individuals, and
you know, we put in what we can put in as work, man. I'm saying,
laying it down. Laying it down. Passing it on. Every Saturday morning before me and my 2 young boys start our little thing of watching our cartoons and shit, you know, before we do that, I always play a hip hop classic from my time to kind of get them to see it.
It's good for them. History.
Yeah, that's why rap videos are very important for our generation. You know, we came later. We didn't really make the park jams, but, you know, we saw the rap videos. You know, we shared our videos.
And that's what was the FY era.
Right.
Yeah.
We grew up on the videos. We saw a couple of shows. You know, saw a couple of block parties over here. You know, unless we got that video, we can't share them. We can only talk about it, but we can show the video. And we can show Naughty by Nature Hip Hop Parade. Oh.
Yeah, my daily routine was really coming from school. You know what I mean? Bullshit. You know, you don't come home right away because you got to walk around stores, whatever. So by the time I got in the house when it was Rap City.
Yep.
You know, I watched Rap City after Rap City was over. Then, you know, when it started getting nice outside after Rap City, we went out to play ball.
Yep. Because it was only 30 minutes.
Yeah, after
Rap City was only for 4:30.
We went out to play ball.
Rap City only 30 minutes back then?
When it first came out with Chris Thomas, the mayor.
Yeah.
I
remember.
4:30 to 5 o'clock.
It was an hour and a half after that.
And later
it started at 4:30.
That's crazy.
Yeah, later turned in. I remember when it was only a half
hour. It started
hour.
from 4:30 to 6.
I started watching it when it became 4 to 6. Or something.
Who was the host?
4:30 to 6.
Joe Claire.
Oh, wow. So you started watching it much later.
I started watching it in the 90s. I didn't watch it in the 80s.
Yeah, I was watching it. I remember when it first debuted, like when it first came out. I remember the pilot episode.
Wow.
With Chris Thomas.
Yeah, I didn't know it was. I didn't know. It was half hour.
What is his name?
Chris Thomas. I think it's
I remember him.
Chris Thomas. He was a comedian and impersonator. He was on Public Enemy's Night to Live in Basic video.
Right.
That's crazy.
It was the guy that was so when I first came back in the country, he was the one on BET.
Yeah, he called himself the mayor. I'm the mayor of Rap City.
Because I remember watching like Video Soul with Donnie Simpson.
Yep.
Yeah.
That came on at 3 o'clock.
I remember Sherry, what's her name?
Sherry Carter.
I remember her. I had a crush on her.
That was a Caribbean Rhythms, I think.
I had a crush on her. She was
her. No, that was what's the name again?
Then there was Rachel. I think Rachel was the one that had Caribbean Soul vibes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the one that passed away, she was
Rachel. She did Caribbean Rhythm.
There was a girl that passed away recently.
Oh, Rachel passed away?
No,
No, wasn't Rachel.
Ayana passed away.
No.
Ayanda, I don't know if it's Ayanda or Amanda, one of them names, but she looked like Chili.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
She was on BET. And she passed away recently of cancer.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, if you see a picture, you'll remember.
Yeah,
Right?
so it was then it was when Joe Claire was there. It was either Joe Claire or Big Les.
Yeah, I was watching it with Joe.
Big Les, her dickhead.
I love Big Les.
I think Joe Claire's Rap City was actually the most cultural for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it blew up. It was starting to blow up. That's when Biggie was still alive. In fact, Joe Claire made the announcement that Biggie passed.
Yeah, he did.
Because Joe Claire was like, he was really like his interviews, like,
yeah,
we're really going into the culture. Like, if he has an interview with you, be like, yo, break it down, man. What you really about? Like, that was Joe Claire.
He would go to them. Like, he would go to their locations. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
I remember
going to their block.
I remember him going to Nas. He went over to Wu. You know what I'm saying? He went where they was at.
He went to the Brooklyn Zoo and he interviewed ODB.
He went to ODB. You know what I'm saying? So that
Remember
him better than Tigger. Tigger, you had to go to him with the basement. But I did like the basement with the freestyling and the mic. And
the basement was dope.
Yeah,
the basement was like, yeah, you were in the basement. You come to the basement. Stop by. You know, go upstairs, get a plate from Mama Tigger, and come downstairs. Like,
Tigger was the last one. He was the last host.
Yeah, then Teen Summit. No, not Teen Summit.
No, that was
106
in Park. Yeah.
You know, remember we had Teen Summit?
Yeah,
that was on Saturday.
Summit.
That was a dope show.
Oh yeah, it was. I was a teen back then.
When they had
to the young black youth.
Yo, that was my generation. I was a teen back then. I was watching that every Saturday.
And they had them sit down and talk about the issues. That was dope. But those are the type of show they cancel.
Yeah, because what they was doing, they was talking and educating the youth.
Oh that was powerful.
Like literally, Busta Rhymes was on there. They had Busta Rhymes on there, and he literally questioned the kids. He was like, "Yo, what do y'all know about Grandmaster Flash Furious 5? Boom, boom, boom." He's like, "The reason why y'all don't know because y'all too young. So a lot of times you need the older generation. Y'all got to start listening to the older folks that talk about this hip hop thing the way I know it, because I was a kid when this came out. You know what I mean? So, like, and that speech that he gave really influenced me to really kind of study the culture a little bit more, even though I was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Okay? But then once I became an adult and I started learning about the business and then the culture, because that's when I learned that the business and the culture are two different fucking things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that shit, like because the business is a lot of phony, fake, stupid, idiotic motherfuckers in that shit, man. Like, and I'm just being real. On this part, I'm being real. Like, there's a lot of stupid people in the industry, right? And I see why they choose stupid people in the industry, because they're easy to manipulate. You know what I mean? If you
smart people would question everything.
Oh yeah, like you can't get me, and I was in my 20s. You're not gonna get me to sign that contract because the shit don't look right. You talking to, like, that's when I learned about advances. That's when I learned about, like, for those who are trying to get in the industry. If you don't know what an advance is when they give you money that you have to pay back in full before you get your royalties. You know what I'm saying? So when you sign that contract, if they own your publishing and they own, you know what I'm saying, that you sign the contract, every cent has to be paid back in 100% before you recoup any royalties in your name, which your name is owned by the person who owns your publishing. So this is things that that you must know if you're gonna do business doing this. I always suggest independent business with proper networking, but establish what culture is so you can stay balanced, because the culture keeps you balanced. Your yearn for culture keeps you balanced. So that's why it's very important that, you know, something like I just told you, learn, question, network, build with the gods on that shit, because there's the gods of this culture and then there's the everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So learn it, understand it, then move according to what the culture says, not according to what the industry says. You know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, the industry is supposed to come from a culture. Because we talk about the industry, because that's the only industry that's established like that everybody recognizes. But if you live in culture, you should build your own industry.
Yeah.
You because we can do business. We know how to do business. Because it's actually simple. It's as far as you got the product, you got the demand for it.
Yeah.
As simple as that. But when we got the middleman that comes in, they want to restructure all that for you. A middleman that comes in and misdirect you. Say, look at those guys over there. They want your product. But you know who wants your product, who needs it. They're right here. But somebody's directing you to look somewhere else so they can put their little game. Before you know it, they want to play like they're the only one seeing what they're showing you, that you need them. Before you know it, they're calling the shots now. They convince you can't move without them. Now it's like, okay, we're sitting around signing deals with people that's outside the culture, but you already know what to do.
Yeah, sinners.
Take the product. There's a demand out there for it. You got it. But a lot of the times, somebody's like, they come in and play the middleman. They're not working in your favor. That's what we suffer from, right? A lot of deceptions.
Whole lot.
You know, you look around looking at people that's
you're
this is the money. So you're looking at the money like you're not, what you're doing, you're not doing. Like, okay, there's money over there. That means if I don't get that kind of money, I'm not doing this. But sometimes I can tell you this. You know one thing about money? Let's say you got $30 million, right? You buy yourself a $2 million house. After you buy all the fly cars, whatever, you still got $20 million in the bank. And you know what I mean? You've been so busy making the money, you never really established no family, nothing like that, of people around you. Then one day you pass away, the $2 million still in the bank. Nobody to claim it. Ain't really much to do with it. That's money. You can make money. Sometimes they got you chasing the money, but at the end of the day, it's like, money sitting in the bank, it's a waste. Because it's paper, it's a number that's sitting there, it's not doing anything. So you might chase those numbers and they claim you're a billionaire, but you didn't do anything that's worth not even like, you know what I mean, 100 million. You never got to spend that money. You just got this number, you got the reputation, you're the billionaire. What did you do? You haven't done anything yet, you just got a number. You're a billionaire, that's all you accomplished, a name. You know? So they gotta be careful when you're chasing the money. You know, that's like something, that's why it's like, we look at Dame Dash, right? How we talk about Dame Dash is broke. But Dame Dash looked like the type that got his money on circulation at all time. You don't have money sitting there like, oh, you got $1 billion, 50 million sitting over there now. He always got this going on, this going on, this going on. So if you ask him how much money he got in hand in the bank, you'll probably see nothing because everything else it's in motion. It's moving.
So, he's investing. It's working.
But yeah, so it's like he didn't invest in that numbers, you know. He don't have a number that is worth, like, it doesn't say much because his money's not gathered in paper and on some bank. His assets is out there moving. So it's like I can have I can have some money. It can either sit in the bank or I can purchase a property and put, you know, some whatever institution or got something in that building that's going on, that's worth having that money sitting in the bank. So sometimes it's like, yeah, that number, you can chase a number that you're not going to do anything with. And if they got somebody independently, like I said, you can have $1 billion and you only spend 100 million out of it. And they got somebody that made exactly 100 million and he spent just that. You know what I'm saying? But you made it, the way you made it wasn't even what you wanted to do. But this person made 100, he made like only 10th of what you made. But he did everything that you did.
He had a vision.
Yeah, he just didn't have those extras that you have in the bank that you're not going to use anyway. He just don't have those. But as a person, he has his integrity. He did exactly what he wanted to do. His reputation is intact because he ain't do too much for other people. You might make a lot of money and just feed the sharks. Feed the monsters.
Yeah, they gotta eat too.
Oh yeah. They gotta eat on your expense. That's expensive.
That's why it's your expense.
Yeah, you'll be surprised what you're gonna pay with, because it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
And that's everywhere. Not just the art, not just the music industry. This is even in politics, all around the world, man. You just gotta, you gotta be careful what you selling your soul.
Facts.
Man, you ain't selling no soul to the devil. You just had a contract with some white man. He ain't no damn devil. I say I got a better chance being the devil than that motherfucker. It's just some dude that had an upper hand, and you signed a contract with that motherfucker. He playing the devil, and you believe him? You're giving him too much credit. He ain't no damn devil. At least he got you believing that shit. And you out here blaming your whole life fuck ups on him. Give him too much power.
Ruined my life.
Fall back.
Her life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 10:05.
10:05.
Peace and beyond to the fans. Thank you for listening. Dope conversation. Dope cipher. Dope building. Till next time.
Peace and beyond.
Beyond.
Beyond.